Welcome to Game Stuff podcast number 5.
Whoa.
Officially number 5. We're 5 in.
Cinco.
That's half of 10.
Cinco de podcast.
This is the weekly video game podcast where two developers just get together to talk about games.
Yeah, just
I'm
talking.
the one true host, Brad Snyder over here.
And I'm the one host to rule them all. I rule only one person, and it's Brad. So it's kind of lame, but...
And that host's name is...
Oh, me, yeah, I'm Sean.
Sean Crick. We're still trying to get used to this. You know, the whole intro rigmarole is kind of difficult.
Yeah, even you saying rigmarole
I can't
seems
do it.
very
I don't
difficult.
even know why I keep trying to say that word. Is that a real word?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the rigmarole...
Yeah, see, you always swap the R and the M. Rigmarole.
Is... You can write to us at gamestuffpodcast@gmail.com. You can be a part of this show.
Yeah.
We want feedback. We want questions. We want you guys to call us out on our shit.
Call our shit.
Because Sean is wrong about almost everything he says.
And Brad's so full of shit, you could just call him for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Straight.
So just write into us there or follow us on Twitter at GameStuffPod.
And follow us on Twitter.
And follow us. Oh, yeah, do both of those
You don't have to
things.
do only one.
And that's the fucking
hold yourself
rigmarole.
back.
It's over.
The rigmarole.
It's over. Let's get into the show.
Well,
Sean.
let's give the viewers, listeners, readers, whatever you guys are doing, let's give them a little taste of what's to come.
Do you mean?
You're going to be out of town soon.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
So we recorded a secret out of band podcast last week during the week.
Yeah.
During our work week.
Exactly.
Come home from an 80-hour day.
So hard, sweating all day long.
I'm doing 80-hour days. What are you doing?
I'm doing 89.
89. Why not? You just stop at 89. 90's right there. But
yeah. They don't want us doing 90-hour.
That's true. They don't want overtime to kick in, right?
No, we're not working that hard, but we do have a full-time job every day.
Yeah, only one between us, but still, we get it done.
But yeah, it's true. Okay, I'm going out of town for 2 weeks, which really sucks. I'm going out of town over the E3 week.
Yeah,
so I'm
that's
gonna
the
miss
worst.
it for the
That's
first time in
the
like
worst.
5 years.
That's fine.
Totally sucks.
I'll play all the cool new games.
But my old college roommate Nick, that motherfucker, is getting married, so I got to go back and be a part of his wedding. I also got some other asshole friends back in Pennsylvania. I guess we're doing a beach trip or something,
Where are you going? What beach? It's probably a really cool beach, right?
It's one of the coolest beaches on the East Coast. So Rehoboth.
Oh, Rehoboth.
Yeah, Rehoboth Beach. Famous for just being a really cool beach.
Exactly. That's all it's known for.
That's all it's known for. Just a bunch of guys going to hang out there and have a good time,
Yeah.
And, just sometimes you got to help people move out of apartments and just, do
That's
whatever.
happening too?
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
What? What kind of trip is this? Anyway, we recorded a super secret special episode that you will see in... Well, we're not going to tell you when. No,
okay, shit. Okay.
Not 2 weeks.
And then also we're going to be doing another episode in the middle of this week, so it's not going to be like a whole full week's worth of news.
Yeah.
But that'll be going live for you next week.
But
we're never going to miss a week. That is the goal.
That's
we're
the goal.
following in the footsteps of Podcast Beyond.
We got to achieve our goals.
And P.S. I Love You. We want to be like those guys.
Well, they've missed weeks.
Yeah, okay, but they tried to not miss weeks.
So we're following their footsteps, and then when you don't see a footstep, we're making our own footstep.
That's yeah, exactly. We're diverting off the path and just kind of creating
the trail,
creating our own path.
What was I gonna say? There was something
Sean,
going on here.
If I could read your mind, I'd tell you, buddy. But
so
unfortunately, my only superpower is super strength.
Yeah. Oh, that next episode though, in the middle of the week or whatever, we're gonna do some E3 predictions which I'm super excited for.
Oh,
Even though you're not gonna be there to capitalize on.
I'm not gonna be there to capitalize, but we're gonna do E3 predictions, and we're gonna put something interesting on the stakes. We don't know what that is yet, but something interesting is gonna be up for stakes. So if one of us loses,
what are you saying about stakes?
Yeah, I don't know. I tried to do this before.
Putting
with
something
stakes.
interesting on the stakes.
I
don't think you know how that idiom
works. I don't know what the saying is. It's
all right.
Something is up for stakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up for stakes. That's the only thing you can say.
But it's not on the stakes.
No, it's not on the stakes.
Okay. Well, for me, it's going to be on the stakes.
Okay.
And whoever loses,
for you all allowed.
They're not only going to just be just a shameful loser,
depressed,
but something interesting is going to happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to do predictions, and we're going to see what comes true during the E3 week, and then we'll have a little prediction roundup show after all of it's over.
A whole roundup show.
Well, I mean, it'll be a part of the regular show. I mean, we're not going to get crazy here.
Let's not get crazy. Let's get into it, though.
Yeah.
What have you been playing?
Sean, what have I been playing?
Yeah, you first. I always go first. I'm tired of it.
Playing? Oh my god, dude, so much. Okay, well, one of our fans wrote in, Dane Moore.
Who's that? His last name is Moore?
Yeah, exactly.
He's just not satisfied with what he has?
Not enough Dane. You got to get more of him.
All right. Well, I could use more Dane.
So he wrote in, he wants a little update on how Danny and Shanrika are doing in Disgaea 5.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I'm still playing Disgaea 5, and Dane, the short update is you are... Sean just made a short joke. I just want to say
No, I
that
didn't.
right now.
I just laughed silently.
The update is you're still kicking ass. You're about level 20 now, and you're still poking guys with your spear, and Shanrika just is falling behind. Shanrika, for some reason, just can't do shit. Like, you're a magic girl, and like you just can't do anything. Like,
I'm a magic guy girl. Well, there's the problem.
You're still
just
trying to identify.
Have me decide.
Yeah, you're still trying to figure yourself out.
I'm too torn apart by my identity,
and that's the problem.
Yeah.
But to be honest, this guy has kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit.
Oh, surprise!
Yeah, so I'm still playing it, but Injustice 2. I've been playing a lot more of that.
I saw you playing that.
I think I'm near the end of the campaign, and dude, that game has just been super badass.
Yeah, I saw you slap someone into the atmosphere and then punch them as you're flying 3 times, and then I think you flew in front of them and caught their face.
Yeah. From
the momentum of your own punch.
Yeah.
And then slammed them back through the atmosphere into the stage, and they weren't dead.
No. And that person who was doing that was Superman, too, by the way.
Superman.
Which, if Superman hit you like that, you would be just done for.
And the great part is the stage was in space on like some space station.
Yeah.
And you still hit him into Earth's atmosphere and then came back.
Okay, let me describe another one of these, because this happened, and I thought it's ridiculous, because it happened to me as Batman. I was playing as Batman, and Brainiac did his super move on me, and his super move is 4 robots circle around you. They all launch harpoon torpedoes into Batman's body, and you see them go into him like with cables.
Yeah.
And there's blood that flies out. So 4 cables are just penetrated in through his chest. And then Brainiac's ship, which is the size of a planet, launches a laser beam attack down onto him as he's held into place and like
just so he can't get away
the entire
from
ground. But then Batman got up.
Yeah. Then he's like, oh, half health. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still going.
Dude, the game is so over the top.
It looks
but like
awesome.
in the best possible way. The fights are awesome, and the thing that's really impressed me is the story is really cool. So like the single player campaign, it's basically just like 2 or 3 hours of cutscenes, and then every once in a while you fight someone in the middle of it. And the sound design is ridiculous. Like they went above and beyond. Like every character has such awesome, unique sounds.
Yeah, I was a little confused because I expected you to play Nier, and I was out in the other room, and I heard these sounds coming from your room, and I was like, that sounds like a game, but way too good to be Nier.
Yeah, I know,
so
right?
I came in, and then as I was walking in, I was like, no, that can't be a game. That's a movie. It sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
And then I got here, and it was Injustice.
It's that good. Like, seriously, the mix, the music, the sound design, everything is that good. Like, when you're watching the cutscenes, they went so far above and beyond any game I have played in maybe ever.
Yeah.
As far as how good those cutscenes are.
The cutscenes especially, they are movie quality.
Yeah.
And then when you get to gameplay, I noticed that
the lighting changes. The mix is... what's disappointing, actually, is that it's quieter.
It's very
So when
quiet.
you get to gameplay, it's like all of a sudden all the impacts are quieter. And it's like, no, now I'm actually getting people up. I want it to still sound cool.
I think that's intentional. I think that's for clarity. That's for like competitive clarity, which totally makes sense. But you do lose a little bit of that epic luster that the cutscenes have.
Yeah, it's kind of a disappointment. But I don't know. I've been playing it for a while now. I want to say I've got to be near the end of the campaign because shit is just getting fucking ridiculous. But it's been really, really good. I highly recommend it. So I don't ever play fighting games. Yeah. Like you and I, like we don't really play fighting games, I would say.
Yeah. And my biggest one was Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur was like our jam. Soul Calibur 2 and 4. Those games were so good. So I don't normally play fighting games, especially like what's cool about Soul Calibur is it's like a weapon-based fighting game, and I really like that. Mm-hmm. Whereas Injustice is not that. But each character is so unique. And that's actually kind of frustrating in the campaign because you're like playing as Supergirl for a little while and like you play 4 fights as Supergirl and you're like finally by the 4th fight you're like, okay, you memorized her moves, this is awesome. And the next thing you know you're Blue Beetle and you're like, who the fuck is Blue Beetle? First of all,
is that like the Tick's arch nemesis?
No, I don't think the Tick is in DC universe. I don't know what world the Tick is in.
Yeah, he's got his own world.
But no, I had no idea who Blue Beetle is. I still don't know who he is, but he's kind of cool. And then you're just like, you keep switching characters, and then you have to learn like an entirely new way to fight. So it's like usually the first time you switch characters, you just get your ass handed to you by someone else, and you're like, oh my god, this is frustrating. So
in the long run, though, that's really good.
It's cool because you kind of get a feel for all the characters. Like I know which characters are kind of like gelling the most with me. which like Supergirl's really fun. For me, I think I tend to like the combo based characters, like because not all the characters have like a lot of melee combos. Some of them are more about like I only can hit one or twice and I hit really hard.
Yeah,
and that's not like I usually just get wrecked by someone faster than me in that case.
Yeah,
but it's kind of really frustrating when you're playing as like Robin, who like can't do shit, and then you're up against like Swamp Thing, who every hit just like takes away a quarter of your health. So frustrating.
So which character do you think you are in real life?
In real life,
in terms of fighting style?
In terms of fighting style, definitely Supergirl.
Supergirl. Okay.
Yeah. Just like really sexy and like really fast and just like really really confident and powerful. And
you are confident.
I also can do the laser beam thing out of my eyes. So yeah.
Out of your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's original. Great. Every superhero does that.
Yeah, so I've been playing Injustice 2, really great. Even if you don't like fighting games, but if you kind of like superheroes, like I'm not even a huge DC fan, but it's so cool to see these superheroes like in these awesome scenarios.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool. If you just like Batman, you're gonna have a good time because Batman is super cool in this game. If you just like Superman, Superman's kind of an asshole, but you know and maybe also, he redeems himself.
It's weird. I came in and I saw Superman and I just said, Superman doesn't look great.
No,
because he's not.
For some reason, like
he's not unique. He's an attractive, chiseled dude.
Oh, you find him attractive, Sean?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna because I don't want to call him ugly. He's not ugly.
I thought he was ugly. I thought Superman could be way hotter in this game. I was disappointed at his level of attractiveness.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But Batman, on the other hand, Batman with his mask on, oh my god,
Batman
10 out of 10.
Yeah,
10 out of 10.
My heart,
big time.
Yeah, that cape.
Yeah,
the cape physics.
Yeah, so good.
Just want to get him out of that cape.
Superman can leave the cape on though. Well, the problem with Superman is
he needs the cape.
Superman has this weird thing he's wearing on his face. He's got like this half of a mask just on the bottom part of his face, and that makes him look weirder. So
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's got like these parts that go up along his chin line.
That's stupid.
And then like around his neck. So he's kind of like wearing a turtleneck.
Yeah.
Which I think is a part of the reason why you just don't like him as much.
Yeah, because
guys shouldn't wear turtlenecks.
No, unless you're Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
The turtleneck died with Steve Jobs.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Cancer took it out, or what got Steve Jobs?
It was cancer, yes.
Okay, yeah. Cancer took it out.
Cancer killed the turtleneck.
So, anyways, besides Injustice 2, a game kind of splashed up out of the water and stole my heart this week.
Yeah. And
that game is Magikarp Jump.
Yeah. I'll let you talk about your infatuation with this game, and then I'll bring the other perspective.
Yeah, and your perspective
I also played this.
Definitely wrong.
The correct perspective.
Okay.
The corrective.
So I started playing Magikarp Jump this week, and it's just a clicker game. So it's nothing complicated.
I wouldn't say it's just a clicker game. I'd say it's worse than a clicker game.
No, because in this game, you fish up do you know what a Magikarp is? It's a fucking Pokemon.
Yeah, it's the worst and best Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time. And that's what makes this game so awesome. The game is all about Magikarps, which is like the most hilariously useless Pokemon ever.
Until it evolves.
Until it evolves, and then it becomes amazing.
It never evolves.
Well, I think it might, actually. I think it can evolve, but I don't know what you have to do to get there, and I don't want to look it up and spoil it, but I've seen that it can happen.
You've seen Gyarados?
Yeah. So, and actually, Maggie, when she was playing, she ran into a Gyarados already. I don't even know how that happened, but I haven't seen any. So you fish up a Magikarp, and all you can do is it goes into your pond, and then you click on food, and it'll eat the food, and then it gets stronger and levels up, and then you can have it do training sessions where you're limited in training sessions because obviously this game's supposed to be trying to squeeze money out of you. I have not put any money into it, and I've been having a great time.
You haven't?
Still. No, no money.
Okay.
So basically, the training sessions are hilarious. It's like. There's a punching bag, and then you're like, Magikarp, go! And the Magikarp just flails against the punching bag for a couple seconds, and then boom, you got some training points.
And here's my problem with the game. You're not even interacting with the punching bag or the Magikarp during that time.
No.
It's just like a canned cutscene, and that's it.
I do agree that was a little disappointing, but what the part that makes it so... I think that makes that kind of better for me is that this game is so casual that I can be doing anything else and I don't have to focus on the game, and I'm just grinding and getting my Magikarp stronger.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of cool that I don't have to interact. I can just hit train, and then he'll go, and then like I'm doing work, and then whatever, I get the points, and then I go back to the pond. And then the pond is pretty much the place you interact with the most. In the pond, you have to click on all the food to get them the food. Sometimes like special Pokemon will swim through the water, and
what
then
do you have to do?
Click on them.
That's what I thought.
And then when you click on them, like a bunch of food will appear, they'll make you stronger, and then eventually you get Pokemon friends. Like I have a Pikachu, and Pikachu cheers you on in battles, and then also helps you train. And then you'll also have special events that'll happen, like you'll go do training. And then the thing that like terrified me about this game, and I think has been all over the net, so if you haven't seen it already, sorry, spoiler alert coming up here. Is like events will happen after you do like a training session, and it's like, okay, you're walking home with your Magikarp, it's just flopping on the fucking ground behind you, like all the way. And then it's like, oh, there's a tree with berries in it. Why don't you jump up there and get the berries? Mm-hmm. And you have the option to jump up or just not. And then when you hit jump, they're like, are you sure you want to do this? And you're like, yeah.
Oh God.
And then
I know what's gonna happen.
then your Magikarp, like, it jumps up and the screen slows down, and a Pidgeotto comes out and just fucking grabs your Magikarp and takes it off and kills it.
Are you sure you want your Magikarp to die today?
Yeah, basically that's what happens. And I actually just ran into another one. A different thing happened, like where there's a Pokeball laying on the ground. They're like, oh, whoa, what's that? You want to go pick it up? And like, if you say yes, they're like, are you sure you want to pick it up? And you're like,
so you didn't this time?
One time I did pick it up, and it was just a Pokeball that had like 50 coins in it.
Oh, okay.
And then this time I picked it up, and it was a Voltorb. And it used Explode.
Oh, God.
And it fucking suicided my Magikarp.
Yeah.
And it died. And then you have, like, this cutscene where you're walking home and the sun is setting and the music is sad. And it's like, you just literally killed your Magikarp.
What do you do with the body?
Nothing. The body's gone.
You just let it go.
Well, it's either a Pidgeotto has taken it off and eaten it up, or
just
or
disintegrated.
Blew up when the Voltorb just destroyed itself.
Sad.
So that kind of shit can happen, which is just, the game is so tongue-in-cheek, I think in the best possible way. Like, it's not supposed to be a real game. It's super casual. And I think that in that aspect, they've nailed it. Because if you like Pokemon, and if you have spent the bullshit training hours it takes to get a Magikarp leveled up to, like, Gyarados levels...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of really fun. It's really fun. You get to name all your Magikarps. They have different patterns. So, like, as you fish up Magikarp, you get, like, different colors and stripes. And that's basically your Pokédex, is you're just fishing up different colors of Magikarp. And I actually just got a gold one, which apparently I think is the rarest one.
Is it like a shiny?
Yeah, it's basically a shiny gold Magikarp, and it's so badass. And I don't know. The game's got its hooks in me for some reason. No pun intended.
Cool. So I started playing this game as well, and I was instantly turned off. Just completely turned off because it isn't a game.
You didn't even like the music? Because, like, dude, you go to the training, it's like...
mobile games I usually don't have my music on.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm usually playing on the toilet.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Well, you don't have headphones on?
On the toilet?
Yeah, dude.
What kind of workplace bathroom experience do you have?
A very, very private one.
Okay. Well, no, I don't have headphones on when I'm going to the bathroom at work. But... I started playing a bit, and I saw, like, yeah, cool, you can click on things in the pond, and, oh, yeah, you can say, I want to train, and then it just happens. And then you get points.
And for you, that was like, nope, I want to interact with it.
Yeah, because I've seen other idle games.
I thought you were going to interact, too. I honestly, I was like, oh, at least with the jump, maybe, like, so that's the real crutch of the
jump,
game.
I swear, I thought I was going to press a button or something or hold it down, and then... He just jumps.
It's so awesome. Like it just makes me laugh. Like it just makes me happy because the real crutch of the game is there's these leagues where you have to fight your Magikarp against another Magikarp, but they don't even fight. They literally just jump up into the air and they crash down into the ground, and then that's it. And you don't even, I thought you were going to have to do something interactive, but nope. There's literally a button that says jump, and you push it, and then your Magikarps jump up, and then it's over.
Yeah.
And it's simple. It's simple and fun. It is a little bit on the repetitive side.
It's a lot.
But for some reason, I like the grinding. Like they did a really good job of like you're always just so close to getting something new that I'm just keep playing really casually. I log in, I do my training, I collect my food, and then as soon as I level up a Magikarp all the way, then I just take them through the training and see how far the league and see how far they get, and then. Whatever, get my next Magikarp and go at it again.
Yeah.
Because they force you to retire them. That's the tricky part. It's like
Tamagotchis.
Yep.
They just kinda die.
Your Magikarp gets, like, you can only train a Magikarp up to a certain level based on your rank. And once they get to that max level, you have to take them through the league, and then they just get as far as they get, and then you have to retire them. And then you retire them, and you get experience points for them. What's that?
Do they go into like
no?
The
They
Hall
like
of Fame?
it says they swim off into the depths of your pond to enjoy their retirement.
Okay.
And then every once in a while
died.
you'll see them. You'll see them swimming in the background of the pond.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, so I like some of those meta systems, and I think there is something to the game, and a lot of people are really just enamored with it.
It's just fun. The art style is really good.
The art style is
music's
really cool. It's tight. It's a very polished game.
Yeah.
They knew what they were going for. I just don't like idle games. That's the genre, and I've seen others that are way more interesting.
Yeah.
That involve a lot more of that meta stuff and a lot more leveling up, getting new abilities, actually interacting with the game, and that kind of stuff. And that would be more appealing to me. But even that is a game that I've chosen not to sink time into at this point, because I guess my bar now is like, if I play the game for a month or a year and I look back, do I consider that time well spent? And so there are a lot of games where I don't, and this is like even below those games. So Clash of Clans was one that I played for a while.
You were obsessed with Clash of Clans.
I wouldn't say I was obsessed with it. I mean, I did wake up in the morning and that's the first thing I did. Or if I woke up for a second in the middle of the night, I would
you had to log
get my
on.
coins.
Yeah.
But I wasn't obsessed. Okay.
Okay, right. Okay.
I was in a clan, and then eventually I got to like, I forget, Challenger or some, I don't remember what the tiers were, but like it was a really high tier in their competitive scene thing, and I just didn't want to spend money, so I was doing this all really slowly and manually, and it didn't feel good. And I looked back and I was kind of like, yeah, I could have been doing so much more with that time, like playing a game with an actual story, or doing something in real life, like reading or learning a skill or something.
Yeah, I think,
and it just kind of felt bad,
those games can take over in a way that where I think it took over for you, where it does make it bad. Whereas Magikarp Jump, it's literally like, because you interact with it so little, it doesn't take over. Like, you don't have to really focus on it, and it's just like mindless, and then you're done. You don't have to think about it. Whereas Clash of Clans, you kind of really do have to think about what you're doing,
especially if you're battling and everything. But I guess that to me, the idea that you don't even have to think about it is even less attractive. That's like a knock against the game, because then why am I even doing it?
Yeah.
So
okay. Fair enough. I wouldn't say it's for everyone. I wasn't expecting it to really get me the way it
you were
has.
obsessed.
I just think it makes me really happy.
Yeah.
It's the kind of game where it's like, it's just so full of cheer and wackiness, and that it really just brightens my day.
And that's where it succeeds. And with the music and everything, it kind of hits that nostalgic vein.
Yeah, totally.
So I just haven't gotten that really.
And then the other thing I just started playing a little bit last night is Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap, I think. It's a Switch game. It's a remake of an old Sega Master System game. This game came out a month and a half ago or so.
I think I might have seen this game before.
The art style is incredible.
Really?
It's a remake, and the remake is so well done. Like, literally the entire original game is there, and the foundation of the game is all exactly the same. Like, the game plays the same way. So at any time you can hit a button and it just transfers the graphics. It's just like you're playing either 8-bit old school version or new fancy art, and it is so cool to switch between in the environments and just see how they reimagined like what was there and just turned it into something like beautiful and amazing.
It's like a history lesson the whole time.
And if you haven't seen it, I think I'm gonna just show you real quick, because the art is just really
I've seen
fantastic.
the old art for sure, and it's real bad.
Yeah, it's really bad versus like the new art is really cool. It almost reminds me of like a Rayman game.
Yeah, it's like kind of almost like what was the FMV game with the knight?
FMV game with the knight?
Yeah, that first. Oh crap!
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The knight with like the white robe and everything, and it was a lot of video.
What system?
I don't even remember. I think it was on PC.
I have no idea.
I'll have to think about it. But it's a really famous game, and it was like the first. People were blown away by the graphics because they were using pre-rendered stuff, and it kind of reminds me of that, just the art style.
Is it like King's Quest or something? Are you thinking of that?
It's close. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Okay, well,
we'll move on.
Get your fucking tongue in action.
Yeah, I'll think.
Get it off of that tongue,
man. Dragons.
Oh, you're talking about Dragon's Lair?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't a PC game. That was a Laserdisc arcade game.
Okay, it was on some stupid system. That's all I knew.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, Dragon's Lair. Love those games so much.
So this kind of reminds me of that because it's all very...
the game is so like it's not,
like,
but it's like the game isn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Like it's very much a 2D old school platformer. It's very much a Metroid game. It was kind of Sega's answer to Metroid in a way, which is really cool. And you play through the game and you start off as just a regular human, and then you get to the first boss and you're fully powered up and you beat the boss. But then it like curses you and you get turned into like a lizard, and then you're playing as a lizard and you only have one health. Like one heart, so you're like basically completely powered down.
Play different animals.
Yeah, and you keep evolving and changing, like getting cursed different ways, I guess, to be different animals. So it's, I don't know, the music's, the reimagining is just really good.
Yeah.
I'll have to show it to you later because it's really cool. I started playing it last night and I like that. So
I do need a Switch game.
it's been a busy week for me. So that's what I've been playing.
All right. Well, for me, it hasn't been such a busy week for games. I just haven't had a chance this and last week to really
please
sink my teeth
explain
into
to the
anything.
audience here.
Well,
the
first
two
of
guys
all-
who are supposed to be talking about games, why one of them isn't playing any games.
Well, first of all, I've recently gotten into biking, so I'm doing tons of early morning bike rides.
Some might call it bikeling.
Biking,
out there.
riding bike, whatever you prefer. I also, as always, I am into surfing, so that's another thing I do early in the morning.
Are you just trying to show off how cool you are over here? Like,
No, I'm just saying,
I
like,
bike, and I'm surfing.
It's weird because
brah.
I hate waking up early so much.
But you do it all the time.
But I do
now.
it like every freaking day.
Just so the game pals know, like Sean is getting up at like fucking 5 or 6 a.m. like on the reg.
Yeah, I can't
now.
even explain it.
It's insane.
It's one of those things where like the enjoyment.
What time did you get up today?
Today I got up at 6:30.
Oh my god! And this is a weekend.
Yeah, what is today? A Sunday?
Sunday.
I don't even know anymore.
He doesn't sleep anymore.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, I am losing sleep. And it's weird because the enjoyment I get out of these things, these sports, we'll call them, I guess.
Sports games.
Extreme sports will, it so slightly outweighs the hatred I have for waking up early.
Really?
It's just like, it's like a feather on the scale.
Other
you
way
know?
for me, man. I'll do those things, but it's gonna be like 1:30.
You won't do either of those
By the
things.
time I get up. Well, I mean, maybe though.
You'll never do those things.
No, I would.
I've asked you to do those things.
If I had a bike, I would ride a bike.
I have 2 bikes.
Well, now I can ride a bike.
Yeah.
Guess what? Riding
what?
bike
You're
now.
not gonna ride a
Not getting
bike.
up at 6:30 in the morning to do it.
I have 3 surfboards.
Well, I'm not surfing. I told you that.
No, you just said you would.
No, I said I would do. Okay, I wouldn't. Not those specific things, but I would do things. Like I would do things.
I don't
that
even
people
think you'd do
asked.
things.
No, I would.
No, I don't think so.
Just surfing is stupid, dude. Like riding a fucking cardboard piece of shit like through the water, and there's rocks everywhere, and then sharks.
I get it. You've never actually seen surfing before.
No, man, I totally know it's tubular, and you're shredding the waves out.
No,
you know?
shredding the gnar. Okay.
Okay,
It's
whatever.
different.
Whatever.
So I've been doing a lot of that stuff
Real
and
life
just been
stuff again.
super exhausted.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of side projects too that I'm working on.
Yeah.
That just take up
This
time.
is one of them.
Well, this is one of them, yeah. And so I just haven't been able to sit down and have an hour. Like I like to have at least a little time to jump
Well-
in, especially if it's Persona or something big like that.
But I think like the audience like hasn't really heard that like you do play a game on the regular. You play League of Legends a lot.
I play
so
well,
in your
yeah.
spare time you're playing that. So you're still gaming.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like and like that's kind of I mean that takes up a lot of your video game time to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like you play that like pretty much every night.
Well, and that's why I try not to play it too much at home. Try.
Yeah, exactly.
And I
it
go
does
through
not work.
I go
at
through
all.
cycles, but I mean if people are playing, it's like, all right, yeah, I'll play top. But all right,
on the
or I'll
top?
play bot. I'll play whatever, you know.
I thought you were a bottom guy myself, but you know whatever. If you
I'm
want.
actually adaptable.
Oh, okay. Wow, you can reverse flip it around.
I
huh?
reverse flip it,
Yeah.
which is basically just putting it right back where it started.
Okay.
The reverse flip. So yeah, the only things I've been playing are Magikarp Jump, which
Yeah.
I don't like,
Well, you already quit.
and I quit. And then also I started playing Clash Royale again.
Oh my god, are you serious? You did not tell me about this.
Not as like a. Well, I played that game for 2 days and then uninstalled it.
Yeah,
because
well,
I felt.
I played it for like 2 months, and then
you
I
played
uninstalled it
forever.
because I wanted to fucking kill someone.
Well, because you're bad at it.
No, I was
So-
good at it. I was at 2,000 trophies pretty much.
sounds like
back then that was like
nothing.
as almost as high as
Dude,
you
I
could
played
get.
for 2 days and I was at like 800 trophies.
Yeah, whatever. That's nothing. 800
And they
trophies
stop
is
you from
nothing.
playing. After like an hour, they're like, yeah, you can't play anymore until tomorrow.
No, they don't do that.
Yeah, they do.
They do that now?
No, okay.
No,
So they don't
didn't stop you from playing.
They don't give you rewards though.
No. You do get rewards. You get trophies, and I think you get coins for winning. But you couldn't fill up your chests at the bottom. So it's like you kind of was like it's not really pointless because you can keep progressing. But
I don't think you get trophies either. I think they cut off trophies.
As long as you win, you get 30 trophies.
There's some cooldown that made it difficult to actually compete and get trophies.
You're just
maybe
totally
it was just
wrong.
the chest.
It was just the chest.
Either way, they discourage you from playing unless you're paying.
Yeah, pretty much.
And when I saw that, I was kind of like, this doesn't feel good. I don't like that type of a game. I don't believe in free-to-play games.
I don't believe in paying for my games, you son of a bitch.
No, I don't believe in free-to-play games that build gameplay around money.
I agree too.
Because it weakens everything.
I would rather pay $20 or $50 or $60 for the game and just be able to do whatever I wanted in the game. And have access to all the things without it being just like this random loot stuff that's just trying to pull money out of you.
Yeah, it's gambling.
It is gambling, yes.
And it's really like they're going after that dopamine drip, and it works. That's why these games make so
really
much money.
At it, yeah.
And that's why free-to-play games,
that company,
a Supercell, they're freaking huge.
They're insane.
That actually ties into why I was playing it, because I was reading an article on their CEO, and it was just an interview with him. And I love following what that company does because they have such an awesome philosophy on how they build teams. Okay. And he really stresses keeping teams small. They've killed a ton of projects. Mm-hmm. They released a video once they hit, I think, 100 million players in Clash of Clans or something, and it was called 100 million thank yous. And they didn't show, but they made this animation that hinted at all the different IP that they just cut because it wasn't good enough for you.
Yeah.
And that video was fucking sweet. And it's exactly the right mindset. And they also...
You can only have that mindset when you make that much money, though. That's what kind of sucks.
So they had that mindset before they launched Clash of Clans. They killed a game.
Okay.
They were making an MMO on PC and Mac.
Well, that's the dumb idea to begin with. So.
And I think it was Facebook as well. And they got to a point where it wasn't fun for them, or it didn't feel good, and so they scrapped it. They had investors, and the investors were breathing down their necks,
Right, as investors
it's kind of just the startup environment. And they decided, hey, we're going to take a step back and take an extra year and move to mobile. We're going to make a mobile game.
Right.
And I think they'd already been developing this game. They were kind of we're going to focus on this one.
Do you know when Clash of Clans launched?
Oh man, it had to be 2000.
It was a long time ago, right?
12 or 13.
Yeah.
Probably 2013.
I would think even before that. I think it was because it probably took a while for it to get big.
It wasn't out when we were in Salt Lake.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was even out when before I went to Riot, which was 2013, late 2013.
Okay.
But I'm always slow to play those sorts of games too.
Yeah.
I wait until they're freaking huge and then I just try them. But so it's really interesting to read about this company because they've just got such a cool 2012.
I just looked it up. It's
2012.
August 2nd, 2012 is when Clash of Clans initially released.
They've got such a cool approach. And while I don't agree with some of their frustration mechanics or designing around pulling money out of people, because I think that always weakens the game.
Yeah.
I do agree with most of their philosophies when it comes to team and people that work for them.
The character that they put into that game too is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and the art styles are amazing.
The art style's great. All the individual units and stuff are really cool and have a lot of personality. And it's funny because we were looking at some Clash Royale copies on the iPhone the other day at work, just looking to see what they looked like.
Yeah.
And they're all trying to ape what Supercell does. Everyone is trying to make a game that just looks like their yeah. And it's so funny that they created such a standard for that.
It's perfect. It's you look at those games and they're visually perfect. That art style is just so polished and tight and smooth, and it doesn't even seem it just seems real. It seems like a thing you can reach out and play with.
And it's so interesting because a lot of their unit ideas aren't even really original ideas.
They just have character.
But they have character. Yeah, it's like goblins.
And that's important.
Everyone's got fucking goblins.
I mean, that's really important.
Yeah.
Nothing is original at this point.
Yeah, skeletons.
I mean,
whoa, boy, look out!
Hey, watch out! I'm going to talk about Titanfall. Titans, giant robots.
Yeah.
You know, that's not original, but
Yeah.
you give it character and
Yeah.
you can build a really cool story around it, and that's what people are attracted to.
Yeah, you put
League of
personality
Legends,
into the robots. Like they all have, like all of the Titans in Titanfall 2, like are built around a theme
Yeah.
and an idea,
Yeah.
and that makes that kind of makes something go above and beyond what it is to begin with.
And League of Legends has the same thing where we have 130-ish champions now, and a lot of them are from archetypes. Like a lot of them are the warrior or the sniper or whatever. Things that
you
have
start with this base
been
concept
done, but-
idea.
and I think what separates really awesome games from weaker games is that element. It's like the soul of the game, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of sci-fi and a lot of other genres will look at the tropes and they will just copy them. So like Chappie, Elysium,
Right.
those kinds of movies, they'll just take the aesthetic and plug it in.
Chappie was like, "Hey, I really liked that movie Short Circuit. Let me make one about people that swear now." Like,
Yeah.
it's just like that movie
And I'm
was
sorry
so
I'm picking
bad.
on Neil Blomkamp because he's fucking awesome and he
Well,
made
he
District
was
9.
awesome with District 9. I did not think Elysium or Chappie
They
were
weren't
good movies.
no, they weren't great, but I mean he made a masterpiece, so I consider him awesome.
And also, you know, short aside, that's actually pretty related to games in general. You saw that he's making short films for Steam now, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Source or something?
No, like they're just movies that are going to be, or like short movies that are going to be released on Steam.
Oh, maybe that's a better format for him.
It's really, really interesting.
Yeah,
There was a
cool.
trailer that went out. It looks cool. It looks like, I don't know. Hopefully, it looks better than Chappie.
I mean, he wanted to do Alien. He started tweeting out pics of Ripley and
Yeah.
everything for the next Alien movie, and he basically said like, "This isn't real." So
well, I think
was just
I think
some-
he is on like Alien 5, but I just don't know if that movie's
Yeah,
moving forward or
I
not.
think they've kind of like talked to him a little
Because you got
and-
Ridley Scott over here trying to fuck up the Alien universe as much as he can before he dies. Just
Yeah,
like,
I don't think that's his intention, but whatever. It's a different era. It's hard to put out 80s sci-fi in 2017.
well,
you know?
yeah,
It's
but
hard
I mean,
to do it right. It's hard to bridge the gap between what you could get
It
away
was
with
also
back then.
70s, by the way.
Well, I'm
76 is
talking
when
about
Alien
like The
came
Thing,
out.
Aliens, like all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Not that really Scott was involved with either of those, but
Yeah.
but I'm just talking about like 80s sci-fi is what I consider that genre to be. And it's hard to like find out how to evolve that.
Yeah.
Decades later. So anyway, let's get back to what I was playing.
yeah.
So I do this sometimes where like the story behind a game or the story behind the people that made the game is really intriguing, and that makes me want to play the game.
Right.
And just learn
Kind
more
of
about it.
inspiring you.
Yeah, like Fez is similar where what's his name?
Phil Fish.
Yeah, Phil Fish is just like such a unique dude, and he kind of
Unique is a good word.
well I think popularity got to him in a really bad way, and he kind of caved a little bit,
Yes.
and that's understandable because we're not in that position. We don't know what that would feel like.
No.
But he
But we're about
another
to
guy,
be. We're about to be in that position
Yeah,
once this podcast gets approved on
exactly,
iTunes.
This podcast, that'll be our legacy. But that's another guy who came out of the gate and made a masterpiece and just
Yeah.
turned heads all over the industry.
Coming out of the gate, though, I don't know if you can say that because it did take like 10 years. But
Yeah, but he knew nothing. Like he didn't know how to design games. He
Yeah.
didn't know how to program. He didn't know anything. And then he came and he just had this vision.
yeah, he just worked on it for like forever and
And
just did it
Canada
all
was
himself.
sponsoring him to do it basically. Like they were paying him to make a game.
Yeah.
So it's just a really cool success story. And that's different because that's a pretty perfect game that's really fun to play. Whereas Clash Royale, also a really cool game, but built around frustration mechanics. So it's just kind of a different ballpark. But
Yeah.
That's what's brought me into mobile games.
And then
right
they
now.
have those fucking emotes where it's just like someone's over there crying and laughing
Yeah,
at you
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
time as they're pounding your ass.
So they just make it so easy to troll.
It's
like
so
you can do that
frustrating.
before you're even in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so is that it? Is that it for what you've been playing?
Yeah, and then up next, Life is Strange is free now, so I'm probably gonna play that
yeah.
with Liz.
You should. You
Yeah.
should. That's really cool. Just kind of like it's kind of just a really
Free on
good couple
PlayStation
game,
Plus.
You know, just to play with your
Yeah.
girlfriend or boyfriend
Even though I know
or whatever.
I kind of it's not spoiled, but I have an idea of the ending.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see.
so I'll
We'll
just
see if it's
I
right
guess
or
I'll
not.
just forget about it.
Moving on. Let's talk about announcements.
All right,
What
let's talk
cool
about
things were announced this week? And we're gonna tie in a couple things, not really, I guess, related to like games being announced, but maybe at least one of these. But the first thing that was announced this week is Bulletstorm developer announced that they're working on a new game with Square Enix.
Now, who is the Bulletstorm developer? It's not just Epic.
People Can Fly.
People Can Fly. That's right. And they worked on Gears of War.
Did they?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I'm pretty sure they worked on like
one?
3 or something.
Okay.
Or they made 4. I don't really know. I remember they got involved in that series.
Right. So
maybe I'm
this story
completely wrong.
is, it says that they're working on a new AAA game that will be published by Square Enix. The company announced this week. The project will be an original title for consoles and PC, according to the announcement. No further details were revealed at this time, though Square Enix noted the game won't be part of the company's E3 2017 lineup. That makes this
that's
the
not
weirdest fucking announcement ever.
Yeah, 'cause-
hey, we're working on this thing, not even ready to show it yet. Why would you say that?
This is not giving me a lot of faith in this game because Square Enix is not in a great spot right now. They are certainly not the like number one publisher in the industry. They're not the one that you want to be published by. They're the one that has good terms and you end up signing with. But and then they just cut the Hitman studio and everything. So they've got some shit going down.
Well, what's interesting about this is like, this is a quote from them. They say, "We're massively excited to be working with a talented team at PCF in Warsaw, a studio filled with people who really know their craft. We're building a game we all want to play, which will be the perfect addition to our portfolio." You think this is a multiplayer game?
I don't know.
I think it's probably a multiplayer game.
I would assume.
Because it seems like that's kind of like, does Square Enix have like a big hit multiplayer game?
Yeah, dude. Final Fantasy 15.
There's no multiplayer in that. Although I think there was supposed to be.
I meant 14.
Oh, 14. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Okay. That one actually is a big hit. Okay. But I mean, that's not like a shooter, right? I'm assuming this is probably a shooter.
Shoot.
This is probably a third-person shooting game.
Yeah. Get up on your chocobo and just
gun them down. Gun down everyone else.
Drive by.
Yeah. Oh, what if
Chocobo
it was like a chocobo hunting game, like Cabela's Big Game Hunter?
Big chocobo hunter. Like you're hunting chocobos, or you're hunting from a chocobo?
You're hunting chocobos.
Dude, that's fucked up.
I know. I'm just saying. Like,
You're fucked up.
it's the game they all want to play. They said.
Who?
Square Enix.
Okay. Square Enix. That's not cool.
Next, the Skullgirl developers. A lot of this week is like, hey, a new team is working on a game.
Yeah.
That's like, or a team's working on a new game. Not too many details, but this one's Skullgirl devs a new RPG, Indivisible, coming to Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
So I guess this game was already announced, but it didn't have any like Switch version, and now it does. So it says that the side-scrolling action RPG from developer Lab Zero Games is making its way onto Nintendo Switch. This is good news.
For indies, putting something on Switch in this first year
It's going to be big.
is a huge boon.
It's going to be big because, like, look at me. I just was like, I want something to play on Switch.
Look at me. I'm Brad.
I guess I'm going to buy Wonder Boy and the Dragon Trap. Look at me. So, yeah, already announced for PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. Bringing Indivisible to Switch was an easy decision, they say.
Yeah, it was.
Easy decision.
I would assume that's correct, yeah.
Platformers and RPGs are great on the couch or on the go, making our game a great fit for the Switch. So I guess this is a platformer / RPG. Is that what that means?
Guess,
I don't know.
yeah.
It was a crowdfunded game.
Oh, and it got 1.6 million in funding. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's the highest grossing game project on Indiegogo.
at the time. So something else has come along and been better than that.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So it says that it's going to be releasing in 2018. So
yeah, good for them.
Look forward to that
for indies,
next year sometime.
Getting the press that goes with having a Switch game.
It's good.
You're carved out.
As soon as you say you're going to be on the Switch,
everyone pays attention.
Yeah.
And also, the store right now is empty.
Yeah.
So your game has space on the front page.
Whereas if you
everything
launch on
that
PS4,
releases is on the
25
front
other
page.
games, 25 other fucking games came out that week.
And oh man, PS Plus on Vita, that like Monsters game DLC.
Yeah, it's
I don't even
always
Little
there.
Monsters or
Little
something.
Singing monsters.
Yeah, it'll be
My
like
little singing monster.
It'll be like, oh cool, here's a game I like, here's a game I would like, and then 50 pieces of $1 DLC that are on PS Plus. They're just spamming it.
Yep, and it's like pushing out any other game you actually want to sell on that platform. So the next game, another just kind of ambiguous announcement, I guess. Oh no, maybe there was a trailer for this. So Killer Instinct dev announces action game Extinction.
Whoa!
Coming from Iron Galaxy in Q1 2018. So
is that
not
the
too
name of
far
the game?
Off.
Action game Extinction.
It could be.
And it shortens to age.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
So Killer Instinct
like Mag.
developer Iron Galaxy and publisher Maximum Games. Who's Maximum Games?
Who are
I've never
any
even
of
heard
those?
of them. Well, Iron Galaxy, I know them, but have announced Extinction, a fast-paced action game coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Due out in Q1 2018, Extinction puts players in the role of Avil, a soldier known as a Sentinel, trained to defend against the Ravenai, an army of 150-foot-tall ogres and other monsters.
And other monsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. The game features
That's
a campaign, custom online battles that allow for players to create battlegrounds and objectives while challenging players for high scores, and a wave-based survival mode called Extinction.
You called it.
The announcement was accompanied by a cinematic trailer. The game director, Craig Kujawa, said players can expect fast, fluid, and absolutely relentless gameplay. Derek Neal, executive producer at Maximum Games, added, each player's experience will be varied, as the landscapes and battles situations are never identical.
That's a whole lot of hot air, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I don't know if they
it.
intended for this to...
I hate it when games announce with a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
Don't show me not the game first.
They're basically showing you that they have enough money to pay Blur.
Yeah, show me the game, and then do a cinematic trailer that kind of like is just showing you the theme, or have them both come out, because just the cinematic trailer, it's like, why? This isn't showing me anything.
I could go both ways with that.
Yeah.
I could see sometimes if it's a really cool IP like Star Wars or something, and you get that really high fidelity trailer that you wouldn't get with the gameplay.
Right.
That's cool. So for like the Old Republic,
but I feel like that's so misleading, because then you see this amazing trailer.
But it's meant to be a teaser.
Shit,
it's meant to be a teaser.
Cool. But no, it's meant to trick the people who don't really know what the game is into buying it. That's how I feel about it. To me, it feels like average consumer sees this really awesome Star Wars trailer, and then it's like, buy now on PC or whatever. You're like, okay, cool,
That's
I'm
totally
going to buy
fine.
that.
I mean, that's the job of marketing.
I guess it is. I get it.
A movie trailer.
To trick people into
How many
purchasing.
awesome movie trailers have you seen that the movie turned out to be a pile of shit?
Actually, not that many, because usually I'm very sensitive to trailers.
Well, they do show you the whole trailer now.
If they show me
the
like the whole movie ahead of time, I'm just like, I'm out. Don't even want to see it. The trailer to me has to be really artistic. And actually, one of the best movie trailers I've seen in a long time was the final King Kong trailer, which that movie was awesome. But the final King Kong trailer was totally unique. It was so stylized. They did a lot of really cool stuff where, like, along the beats of the music, there was like really cool sound effects, and like they cut the trailer in this way that was really interesting. And it wasn't just here's everything in the plot of the movie. It's just like, here's really cool moments, and that's to me how a trailer should be.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's it for announcements. Oh boy, man, we're like 45 minutes into this sucker, and we're only just now getting into the weekly roundup.
The room is heating up.
Hit ya! Weekly roundup. All right. So we're going to start this one off with a really cool article from IGN. I thought this was interesting to include. We can run through these real quick.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a news story, but it's they put a really cool article together titled 11 Awesome Games You Might Have Missed This Month, May 2017.
Some of them haven't even come out this month.
No, they did.
Superhot?
Well, that might have...
Game's been out like 20 years.
I don't know if that's in this list, but it's in that image up there.
Yeah, it's
but
the banner image.
But it might have like recently launched
probably
on
came
a
out
new
on like
platform or
VR,
something.
one of the VR platforms
Yeah.
or something.
So the first one on here is Little Nightmares. This game is awesome. I'm just going to read their little blurb. Little Nightmares technically came out at the very end of April, but if it was so good, we wanted to make extra sure it made it onto your radar.
They're already making concessions. Yeah. Their first game.
Okay, you're right. All right, fuck you, Sean. This spooky puzzle platformer set aboard a massive ship occupied by creatures so nightmarish they feel like they walked right out of a mashup between the fantastical world of Studio Ghibli and the twisted realms of European fairy tales. It's totally true. This game, I played it. It's only about 2.5 or 3 hours long. Amazing. It's amazing. It's like a kind of like it's a platformer horror game where you like play as this little character, and everything like that can kill you is so massive, and you're kind of just sneaking around these environments and climbing things, and really fun. Totally love that game.
The environment art blew me away when I saw it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. The sound design's good. The music's good. The whole thing is really polished and really impressive. Go check it out. Next up is Gnog. Which me and like Jared and I looked at this, and like Jared was like, well, our game looks really cool. And I was like, Jared, fuck you. This game looks so weird.
You told
like
him.
he's such a, like, if it looks abstract and indie and crazy, he's obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And like this is like the most abstract indie crazy thing you can possibly make.
I do not know what's going on with this image.
No idea. I actually am going to read this because I don't even know what the game is. Gnog might be one of the coolest looking puzzle games in a while. It's a series of hyper colorful monster-headed physics toys, or a joy to look at and interact with. Not to mention the whimsical sounds and reactive music that accompany it. So I guess it's also in PlayStation VR, so that probably helps it.
Yeah.
Tumbleseed. I played this a little bit. This is on Switch.
Oh, you actually played this?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay.
It's like a roguelike game where it's like those old school games where you like have to roll a ball through like an environment without it falling through the holes.
Okay.
And that's kind of what this
Do you
is. Like you keep moving up.
the accelerometer or anything?
No accelerometer, which is totally confusing because you'd think that, oh yeah, you would, but nope, it's just analog sticks. You're on a little bar and you move the analog sticks to like shift it to roll it around. Interesting game. I don't love it, but I don't know. Might be worth checking out if you like roguelike games and you need something to play on Switch.
Strafe.
Yeah, Strafe. Sean, read this one to us.
Strafe takes the fast-paced shooting and fluid movements of 90s first-person shooters like Quake and adds in some permadeath for good measure. I think that's good. Yeah, I'm going to stop there. Yeah, that's a pretty good line.
That's pretty good. This is a really cool, just like old school shooter that's like a roguelike.
So did you end up liking it? I know you liked it at first.
I only played it once with Jared.
Okay.
So I haven't played it again. I want to pick. I keep like dancing around the idea of buying it.
I've heard that it gets really difficult really fast, and that's why people drop out.
Probably. I mean, I think it was like at a 70 on Metacritic, so it's not like it's not like it blew the doors off or anything.
Yeah,
but
of Metacritic.
Metacritic. But I don't know. It looks cool. I still like maybe would want to buy it at some point. Next game, Sean. What is it?
Dead Cells, early access. Oh, early access.
Oh, I hate early access.
Early access. All right. Don't let the early access status drive you away from Dead Cells. This Dark Souls and Castlevania inspired 2D action platformer has been seeing some very positive reception.
Did you actually? I actually saw a trailer of this and it was amazing. I just realized it. It's like probably the coolest looking Castlevania game I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, I want to buy this, but it's not out on.
Yeah, it's only PC.
Yeah, it's not out on consoles yet.
This looks to me kind of like what was the 2D Souls game? Salt and Sanctuary, but with color.
But it's way prettier art.
Twitchy art.
Yeah, when you see it in action, it looks really cool.
Oh man, I love the style of Castlevania.
Yeah, totally. So check that out if you like early access games. If not, just wait till it's out.
But who wants to play that on PC? I just don't get it.
I don't. I want to play it on console.
Yeah, I want to play it in my hands.
Next game, Future Unfolding. Some of these games I haven't heard of, and I guess that's the point, right?
Like, that is the point.
Future Unfolding both looks and plays like nothing else on the list, and for that, you might either love it or hate it. Cool. But if you're interested in games that aren't afraid to try something new and trust the player to make discoveries on their own, Future Unfolding is worth checking out. So that's it. I'm not going to explain anything else about it. I'm just going to say, yeah, if you like things that aren't like other things, go check this game out.
If you're a person, you might like this. If you're a person, you also might not. So check it out. This is my favorite one. We talked about this before.
Oh yeah, we did. It was released this week or last week or something. Old Man's Journey. PC, Mac, Android, iOS. Sean, what is this?
In a game where an old man breaks his hip, you must nurse him back to health so he can join you on the Appalachian Trail.
Wait, is that true?
No. Old Man's Journey is a peaceful 2D puzzle game that lets you explore and transform the environment around you to uncover new interactions and memories from its protagonist's
Okay, so you're an old man.
Life.
You're reliving an old man's life.
Yeah.
Great.
Pastel-colored storybook art. Cool.
Yeah. All right, Thumper. We talked about this one already.
Yeah, we did.
So we don't need to get into it.
Yeah.
Another game on the list, Magikarp Jump.
Yep.
Yeah, love it. Really cool.
Don't really like it.
And I guess Superhot for VR.
Yeah, Superhot VR. It's
okay,
VR.
So the VR version came out. So it's already been out.
I've heard that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, if you don't know what Superhot is, it's basically a first-person shooter where the enemies only move when you move. So I haven't played it. I bet it's really cool.
It's more strategic.
People really love it.
Yeah, you got to be very aware of your surroundings.
And then Tokyo 42. This is a really cool looking, stylish game.
And this one kind of slipped under the radar, but it's almost like a cyberpunk aesthetic. So I'm surprised I never saw anything about it.
They say it's a stylish, minimalist rendering of future Tokyo, and you adds in a seedy underworld of assassins, gameplay inspired by the original Grand Theft Auto, and a dash of tactical open world stealth. I saw a trailer for this week. It looks interesting. Okay. I don't know if I would want to play it.
They're trying to do a lot. That's a lot to smash into this game.
I don't know if old school Grand Theft Auto really is fun to play. So
well, it's kind of like
at least
Chinatown
nowadays.
Wars was really good, and that was the same style.
What's funny
Hotline
is
Miami, like the top-down thing is kind of cool.
Yeah, they say that this is like a stealth game, and then like I saw the game in action, and the character's like bent over, like in public, like looking like he's trying to be stealthy, but it looks really stupid. It's like stealth,
no one can see
and I'm
him.
like, oh
Stealth.
my god, come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
So that's it. The
better.
11 games you may have missed this month, in case you want to check any of those out. Next up on the list, Sean, what do we got?
We got Nintendo explaining why they haven't made a new Advanced Wars.
Ooh, man, I love Advanced Wars. Do you like Advanced Wars?
I did like it. I never really got through the entire game.
The
I
game
kind of
was
gave up
really
on it.
hard.
Yeah.
Like, the game was
And long.
advanced.
It was for advanced people. I'm not quite there yet, so.
Yeah. So, tell us what's going on here, Sean.
All right. While Nintendo has published 4 Fire Emblem games in the last 5 years, the drought for its other Advanced Wars series continues. Nintendo producer Hitoshi Yamagami.
Yamagami.
That's cool. Admits he'd like to make a new Advance Wars, but he also admits, I guess,
He
that the
admits and he
development team,
admits.
he's very admitting.
Who wrote this article?
But he admits the development team would have to overcome a particular design challenge. And this is Yamagami speaking. Personally, I'd love to do Advance Wars, he told Eurogamer.
But Nintendo ain't fucking letting me do it.
But since it's harder to create relationships between its characters compared to Fire Emblem, I don't have a clear idea of what kind of setting it could have.
You know what's interesting? Well, I guess this isn't interesting, but I didn't know that the same company made Fire Emblem and Advance Wars.
I didn't either.
I thought could have swore they were different.
Well, maybe it's just the producer who works on both of them. Maybe it's like an executive producer or something. But that's not really a good excuse.
Now, listen.
That's the kind of thing you have to figure out for any game.
This is one of those bullshit articles that you and I both hate. Read this next quote.
The Advance Wars series is one that I personally have a lot of interest in. Who's Kajuchi?
It's a producer.
Higuchi said. I hear some of the staff here saying that they want to make one too. So if we have a chance, it's something I'd like to do.
Basically, they're just like, yep, not happening.
If he's a producer, he knows damn well whether they're going to make that game or not.
Yeah. So it kind of sucks. I guess because Fire Emblem has become so popular now, Advance Wars is kind of just fallen by the wayside. Which people love that game, and that's why that new Switch game. I can't remember what it's called right now off the top of my head. They just released a new update.
It's basically Advance Wars.
It's basically Advance Wars, which is awesome. They're kind of filling that gap that Nintendo has left.
Yeah.
So hopefully that kind of is. I hope that game's good. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
here.
if they just make it exactly like Advance Wars, they got it.
Yeah. All right, Sean. Next.
Middle-earth Shadow of War delayed to October.
Oh my God!
Another delay.
How could they do this to us?
They delayed it right into Call of Duty Zone.
No, Call of Duty is usually November.
Yeah, but it's early November.
You know why they?
This will be late October.
You know why they delayed it though?
No, I don't.
Because Red Dead got delayed, so now there's a huge gap in the fall. So I bet they're like, yep, we're slipping in. We can make a lot more money in October than we can in August.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and it plus gives them a little bit more time. They say that the let's see, what did they say? It was delayed, now slated for October 10th. No specific reason was given for Middle-earth Shadow of War's delay, apart from developer Monolith's desire to deliver the highest quality experience.
Wow,
I think it's literally.
Go ahead.
Well, you go.
I totally forgot Monolith developed these games.
Yeah.
Because Monolith made like Fear and Condemned and those types of games. Such a different style.
Yeah, it's really crazy. They just kind of, I don't know, went in a really different direction.
A really cool direction.
They nailed it. Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor was great. And this game is looking amazing. I'm actually staying away from all trailers now because they've been showing so much of all the gameplay functions and how they've really evolved them.
Yeah, I haven't seen
And I
it
saw like enough where I was like, holy shit, this looks like it's going to be really, really deep and complex. And they took the Nemesis system and they like expanded it like tenfold at least.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Take a little bit more time. The better it is when it comes out.
Yeah. I wasn't looking for anything in August.
Well, I honestly kind of am because...
I don't even know if I'll be alive by August.
I mean, what I was excited about is that game was going to be my birthday game.
Yeah.
Because August 22nd is right before my
your
birthday.
birthday's going to suck now.
Yeah. They delayed right out of my birthday, those
shit
mean heads.
Someone put a game on Brad's birthday.
Please.
Okay, right in.
Okay, we're going to skip to this next story. I like this one. IGN's been doing this comparison of PlayStation Plus versus games with gold comparison.
They always do this. They compare the cost of all the games added up, and that's kind of what they go off of, and maybe the review scores.
Yeah, well, I think they're just doing cost. What I like about it is that it's actually just we can see all the games.
Yeah.
Right. Like announced right here. Yeah. So for June, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you're going to get these games for free. Sean?
Killing Floor 2, Life is Strange.
Those are for PS4, I believe.
Abyss Odyssey, WRC 5, some kind of racing game.
I think those are PS3 games.
Neon Chrome and Spy Chameleon. For a total value of $124.94.
Damn, that's a killer value. What does Games with Gold got here?
Speedrunners.
Speedrunners? What is that?
Dragon Age Origins.
Ooh, Dragon Age Origins.
It's like a 50-year-old game.
What? It's like
that was the Origins.
3 years old. Oh,
dude, Origins.
Oh,
that was on
I
Xbox
thought it was Dragon
360.
Age Inquisition. You're right.
No.
It is Dragon Age Origins. Holy shit! That game is 50 years old.
Watch Dogs. Now that's still old.
Less
but
old.
Like
but,
what? 2 years?
But a worse game. So
that was probably 3 years.
And then Assassin's Creed 3. That game's terrible.
That's such a weird one to pick. Oh, it's not terrial.
It's
Phantom
bad.
Dust.
It's bad.
Wait, Phantom Dust. Is that RPG?
Phantom Dust is they remastered it, or no, they just re-released it on Xbox One. I think.
But what was it?
It's like a card playing game. It's like a duel,
really?
like some sort of card dueling RPG
I think I know
or something.
what you're talking about now. So total retail value of $94.95.
So PlayStation Plus wins.
Which isn't quite fair because PlayStation Plus applies to Vita, PS3, and PS4.
Yeah, so if you only have a PS4, your values are not as good as if you only have an Xbox One.
And these guys, on the Xbox side, like all the games are much cheaper because a lot of them are from 360.
Yeah.
So PS4 gets a leg up because they've got just newer games. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, either of these is awesome and totally worth it.
I didn't play Killing Floor 2 at all, so maybe I'll have to check it out now that it's free.
Yeah, I'm not checking that out.
No?
Sounds like not a game that I want to play.
All right, last story for the weekly roundup. We're wrapping up the roundup. This is a big one.
Big.
Big.
Well, it's not actually because it's big news, but the news is not what we want to hear.
No, I think it's great. I think it's really great.
Part of it. Okay, let's tell them what the news is.
Okay, let's talk about the news. The Nintendo Switch's online service plans have kind of been revealed a little bit. The service will cost $20 a year.
Yeah.
And will launch at some point in 2018. They delayed it.
Yeah, they delayed it.
So it's going to be free. You're going to be able to keep playing Mario Kart and stuff for free because eventually I guess this stuff was all going to be locked behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Or it will be next year.
Yeah, just like either service.
So playing Switch games online will be free until the service launches. You can also get a 1-month subscription for $4, which is awesome. That's that's so cheap.
That is cool.
And a 3-month subscription for $8.
But what that means,
this price is super fair.
What that says to me is they're not going to have the PlayStation Plus lineup. They're not going to have the Xbox Game with Gold lineup. They don't have the content, so that's why it's so cheap.
Well,
because these other guys are offering actually a ton of value for their subscription.
They are. So I guess literally they're pretty much just locking up behind. Yeah, that's true. They're kind of just locking their games behind a $20 paywall.
Which I do not want to pay for.
So the other thing that sucks about this is that you know how they said the voice chat and online lobbies won't be on the Switch before?
Yeah.
Well, that still stands. So instead, you'll have to use them through a smartphone app that Nintendo says will launch this summer. Our new dedicated smart device app will connect to Nintendo Switch and let you invite friends to play online, set play appointments, and chat with friends during online matches and compatible games, all from your smart device.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
I don't understand why can I not plug in headphones to my Switch and talk to people using the Switch? You could do it with a DS.
Sense. Yeah, it makes no sense.
We were trading Pokemon.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
We were trading Pokemon on what was it? Pearl and Diamond. Mm-hmm. And you could just chat through the DS.
I probably gave you a Spiritomb.
No, actually, I think that was way beyond what I was getting into. I don't even think I got into Spiritomb stuff you were doing. Okay. I think we were just like chatting. I think you could just talk while you were weren't even doing.
I remember doing it with Metroid as well, I think.
Yeah, and so why do I have to have my phone plugged in to talk to
that's
someone?
Cumbersome. And I
might as well just be calling someone.
This all just points to, or using Skype or going to some other service that is probably way better than what this is going to be.
Yeah.
Discord, Skype, Curse Voice, like anything is probably going to be more fully featured than this.
Yeah.
And this just points to what we were talking about before. The Switch was kind of a half-baked console. They pushed it out the door because they had to. It was not fully ready. It's 2017. Every other game company out there has made this mistake, and Nintendo's making
and they made the mistake like 15 years ago, by the way.
Yeah, like PS3 launched and their online stuff wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Xbox 360 launched and their online stuff wasn't ready. And then they got it ready over the course of a year. Nintendo has no excuse to do that.
It's pretty insane.
I totally understand that they had to prioritize and they had to get this thing out, and this is likely the best situation for them, but it still sucks.
Yeah.
For players, like it just feels like a disconnected experience.
It totally does. I mean, I just maybe we'll get it and we'll be like, wow, this is a really smart, cool idea.
Yeah.
But I just can't imagine.
We will.
I can't imagine.
But we'll get it in 2018.
That's true, 2018.
So it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter yet. And the other thing is, I just honestly can't see myself really wanting, like, the Switch is already so big and pretty cumbersome as like a handheld.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really want to also just have my phone set up next to me as well to try and talk to people if I'm playing a game online.
Well, you got to get the Nintendo Watch.
Oh,
which has all the voice apps and the Pokemon.
Right. You think they're going to expand into watch territory?
Yeah, I think
next?
that's
Is that one going to be one of your
next
E3
step.
predictions? We'll hold on to that.
I'll hold it. I'll think about it. It's probably not going to be one.
Okay, so the add-on here that Nintendo adds that subscribers will get free versions of classic games with added online features, citing Super Mario Bros. 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario as examples. Previously, Nintendo had said that subscribers will get access to a different game each month, but that plan appears to have changed.
Good.
Which that's good news.
There would have been an outcry about that.
Because getting one game that just goes away after a month would have been terrible. Whereas this seems like it's going to be more like a Netflix, or whereas games will probably rotate it onto the service.
Yeah.
And like,
which would be fine. Nintendo owns the IP for most of these
They say that
games.
you can take them anywhere. So I'm assuming, I guess you can download them and then they're there hopefully they're there forever, like PlayStation Plus, as long as you're paying for the service.
Hopefully.
It's awesome that they're adding online to it. If I can connect online and play with Super Mario Bros. 3 with people, that'll be so cool. I love that game.
Will you do it though?
I will, to test it out.
And then do you think it'll actually add anything for you?
I think it's going to make it a whole new game experience.
Yeah. It's like Super Mario Bros. 4.
Yeah.
Point 2.
So I'm gonna maybe I'll connect with, maybe my dad will get a Switch and then I'll play Super Mario Bros. 2 with my dad.
You think this is gonna bring you closer to your dad? You think this will mend your relationship with your dad? Sorry.
Why do you allude to this terrible relationship with my dad?
Well, because that was your example. You're like, well, maybe my dad will play with me.
Well, I'm just saying, because my dad and I played Diablo 3 together one time, and that was like the coolest thing ever. It was like, instead of like calling home to your family and like talking and like just talking like over the phone, it was like we're catching up over Diablo 3.
Like
Maggie,
that's awesome.
Maggie and I were connected with headphones on the PS4 controller. My stepmom Michelle was on another PS4 controller at home, and my dad was on, and we were all talking while we were playing Diablo 3. That was amazing.
I think the best part about that is your dad couldn't physically beat you afterwards.
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? That has never happened. My dad is awesome. Update. Nintendo confirms that this monthly plan has indeed changed, telling Kotaku that Nintendo Switch Online subscribers will have ongoing access to a library of classic games with added online play, which is what they've already said. Users can play as many of the games as they want, as often as they like, as long as they have an active subscription. Okay, so that does clarify it. So as long as you have the active subscription, you can keep playing it.
I didn't hear any of that.
My mouth was kind of having some issues
But
there.
Advil called, and they want you to read the side effects.
Okay, well, that was the update. They still haven't really said anything about Virtual Console, which is scary. Where's Virtual Console?
They don't want to put their foot down and then pivot, I guess.
That was one of my main factors in buying the Switch. Was like, holy shit, I'm going to get Virtual Console on this.
Metroid
I'm going to be able to play all of these old games.
Metroid Prime 2.
Oh, man, I really hope that they show that at E3. Is that going to be your E3 prediction?
That they show Virtual Console?
Oh, no, Metroid.
No.
Metroid.
Oh, Metroid Prime?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the hell Retro's doing.
Don't want to spoil it. Don't want to spoil it. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah.
That's it for the roundup.
Moo.
Wrapped up.
Wrapping it up.
Fully wrapped.
Wrap-it-a-doop.
Let's,
So we've got a big, meaty main topic here.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually, it doesn't seem that meaty, but once you bite in, you just can't stop.
Right. Yes, I guess that's how it works.
It's like one of those infinite, like the rice thing where you scoop a scoop out and then it just replaces itself.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's one of those.
No idea. Is that
like that.
some sort of magic rice
fable.
machine?
It's a fable.
Oh, it's a fable. So what? This whole thing is a fable? Everything that's happened is just totally made up?
Life?
A life lesson?
People have been actually talking about that recently.
Oh, that life is just
That's
fake?
come up.
Yeah,
well, not even the
whole
simulation
thing.
But people like at work and then at a couple birthday parties that I went to, the same topic came up. Everyone was like, Do you ever just think we're in the Truman Show?
Oh my God.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, I think about that all the time, actually. Or I used to. I literally thought that everyone around me was paid to be my friend.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was like...
And you only had one friend, so it was like pretty sad.
Family's so poor. I used to have this thought where I thought maybe I was like mentally handicapped in some way, and that, you know, everyone around me was just like a fake friend.
Okay.
But not that it was a Truman Show, but I was like, I always was just wondering, I was like, man,
They
what if
just
I'm
felt
really
sorry for you.
stupid and I just think that I'm smart?
Yeah.
Is it real?
That thought? Yeah,
don't know.
I think that's real.
I don't know.
You should look into that a little more. The problem is you're so dumb,
Write into
you'll never figure it out.
GameStuffPodcast@gmail.com if you have had any thoughts like this. Tell us your stories.
Also, you've heard Brad talking for a while now, about 5 episodes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
so they're the judge?
Which is it?
Oh, man. Well, Sean, what is this segment?
So, this was one of our news stories, and I thought it was a good chance to talk about a beloved console.
So this is main topic.
Main topic.
Main topic of the week.
Hopefully not as long as the non-main topics, because it is really hot in here.
Oh my God. It is like seriously 5,000 degrees in the Game Stuff studios.
So PlayStation 3 has, it's not the studios, it's just one studio.
Oh, okay, well, Game Stuff studio. Okay.
Apartment.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 has ceased production.
What?
And IGN's subtitle here, "Good night, sweet prince." I love
Aw.
it. It's so
night.
nice. So anyway, production of the PlayStation 3 has seemingly ended in Japan. And while that doesn't necessarily mean that NA and EU and all the other territories will end right now, I think it's kind of the death knell, you know?
Yeah.
It's eventually going to happen. And so I just wanted to take a moment to look back at PS3, because that was kind of the turning point for like online games, for cell processing.
Dude, cell processing, folding at home.
George Foreman grilling.
How often did
with
you
your
fold
PS3.
at home? I folded at home.
I did
a
it
lot
once. I did it once, and I was
out.
like, dude, my PS3 is on fire.
Yeah. Dude, the PS3 was a really magical console in like
was.
many ways. I think what was so cool and special about it for us, well, there's a lot of reasons, but it launched when we were our senior year of high school, and it kind of guided us through like maybe the most traumatic and like changing part of our life, like where we went from high school to college and then to our careers where we are now.
Real world.
Which that's all just kind of insane.
That's a good point.
And that that was one of the constants, right? That was one of the constants in our life.
It was the comforting goal. It was the milestone in our life that we cared about.
Yeah, like
we didn't care about college.
Fuck college.
Yeah,
dude.
we didn't care. It's like, I guess I'll go to college because my parents said I should.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all the thought I put into it.
All the teachers are like, you better go to college. You're gonna be a failure, kid.
Yeah,
that's
great.
how they
Now I'm a failure in debt. Thanks.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my gosh, all those people who talked us going to college. I should have just been at home, living with my parents, playing my PS3.
Exactly. They have a pool.
I would have been saving a lot of money.
They have a pool, dude.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. I'm going back in 2 weeks or a week. Actually, less than a week. Okay.
Wow.
5 days.
Wow.
Going back in 5 days.
That's very specific. You're counting down. So just like you're counting down now, we were counting down to the PS3's launch.
Oh, man, dude.
In music class, in art class, in science class.
Every day,
that was a class.
Every day, we would literally watch the same PS3 trailers, and we were like always trying to find new ones.
Yeah. Resistance. Oh my God.
Resistance, Assassin's Creed.
Heavenly Sword, which didn't come out until like March of the next year. Lair.
Lair. Oh man, we were so amped for Lair.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I actually didn't buy Lair, which is so insane because that was like one of the only games you could get on. Like when the PS3 was out for the first year, it was terrible.
Oh yeah,
there was
a
nothing
wasteland.
to play.
Yeah,
there was nothing coming
out.
It was
why
worse than the
Xbox pulled
Switch,
ahead.
probably.
It was, yeah. It definitely was because Switch has Zelda,
and Switch has like games coming out at
and
least
Mario
every
Kart.
week.
Yeah.
Whereas with PS3, like sometimes games just didn't come out.
Because indies were a new thing, and PS2 didn't even have a platform for them, so this was their first shot at that.
We had what was the rubber duck game?
Oh, what was that? That was so stupid. The tech demo.
Well, it was a game.
But it was like a tech demo that they
where like there was like you had
wrapped.
a bathtub and you had a rubber duck in it, and like you used the 6-axis controller to like shift the ducks around.
Yeah. And then you can drop like 30 ducks in there.
Yeah, you had that. You had Flow, which Flow was cool.
Flow wasn't
really a good game.
That was their indie offering.
But it was a cool experience.
So I will say, going back to the Switch, while they are fucking up on some fronts, their indie presence is on point.
Yeah, they're doing good.
They've got them up steadily, and it seems like they've got good relationships with a bunch of indies, and they actually care. So they've learned from those mistakes. But back to the PS3.
But we were looking at those trailers every day,
and the console itself, because there's that like hardware lust that you get when a new console is coming out.
And you're looking at it and you're like, whoa, this looks so cool.
Sleek. They're using the Spider-Man
so shiny.
font.
Yeah, it was the Spider-Man 3 font.
Yeah, it's got an SD card reader. It's got a bigger SD card reader.
Dude, it had a flash it had like a compact what was those called? Like those compact
I forget.
flash?
The giant brick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had like 6
Never used
different
that.
like inputs on the front for like different memory formats. You had 4 USB
Four
ports,
USBs.
which was amazing.
Yep.
Then, like,
on the 60 gig.
Yeah, and so the 60
gig,
the 60 gig launched at $600.
$600.
And like
that's 2 switches.
yeah, that's 2 switches. And I remember I was like doing overtime all the time at Burger King because Sean and I both worked at the same Burger King at that time.
We've worked at so many places together.
Yeah. And so we were working at the same Burger King, and I was just like doing as much time as I could. I was coming in at like 6 in the morning, and then like on a Saturday, and then like staying until like basically like 10 or 11 until whenever we closed, and just working the whole day. And in the morning at Burger King, there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like literally I was like just scrubbing like the wheels on this one cart one day, and I was like, I just want to fucking die. This is terrible. But I'm doing it for the PS3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it for the PS3.
You take out your locket.
Do you remember the manager,
PS3.
Linda?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was the one who told me to do that. She's like, clean the wheels. And I'm like, why?
Was her finger in her belly button while she was standing over you?
I don't remember. I think it was Linda. Linda was the old one with the glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Linda, if you're
back
listening,
in her day,
you scrub the wheels.
Yeah.
I'm done scrubbing wheels.
She's still scrubbing those wheels to this day.
But yeah, I was doing anything I could to scrape up money, because that was like $600 was just, I mean, still to this day, $600 is still a lot of money. Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
That was 10 years ago. How much do you think that's worth, like in today's money?
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Probably $930.
That sounds about spot on.
Look it up.
That sounds about spot on. I don't even know how to do it.
Just type in.
And I'm not going to do it live on the air. Let's keep talking about PS3.
Okay. Well, we should research
We'll look it up later. We'll tweet it out. We'll tweet out what the actual result was.
Yeah. So yeah, the hardware itself was just, I was obsessed with it.
Uh-huh.
Any magazine article, they always have those really cool shots, or even CG where they recreate the console.
Dude, it
Maya
looked like
or
a top secret military like production, like a jet.
Oh my god! And the commercials too.
I don't remember the commercials.
The one with the baby? You don't remember the baby commercial?
No, I don't remember this.
There's a baby
right now.
in a diaper, and there's a PS3 in the room with it.
What is it doing?
I don't really remember much beyond that. I just know it was insane.
Oh my
there were all these commercials were like super abstract and like almost avant-garde, which I actually really hate.
And it was probably like terrible marketing. It was probably just like no one had any clue what it was.
I think it worked because it's all like the power-hungry gamers are just like, oh my god, that was so weird.
But it didn't work because the PS3 was like failing big time for like the first year.
It didn't have games. It was super expensive.
It was crazy expensive.
And they didn't have consoles either.
No.
We waited for that. We stood in line for that console, and there were like 2 at the Kmart.
We're gonna do a story time like where we talk all about our camping out, because that was a big deal. We camped out. We'll just keep the brief rundown is I skipped school for a week to wait out for the PS4
for a whole week?
Or PS3. Well, it was at least like 3 days.
I think it was like 3 days, and then we went straight into camping for the week.
I went to my mom and I was like, Mommy,
Mommy, Mama.
I have never skipped school the entire however many years you go to school, 13 years.
Yeah.
I never have like skipped a day of school. Like I've been sick. I maybe faked I was a little more sick than I was.
Oh, of course.
But I never just like didn't show up, right? And I was like, PS3 comes out this week. I'm not going to school. And I'll see you when I get back. Yeah. That was it. And we were just like sleeping outside of a Kmart for like 3 days.
I'm not even sure if I told my parents. There's no way.
You had to have.
There's no way.
Because how could you have not come home?
I think I told them that I was
remember
sleeping
your mom,
at your house.
No, your mom brought us pizza the one night.
What?
Yeah, she brought us pizza to the Kmart or wherever. We were waiting. Yep.
Definitely not.
Yeah, she did.
100%.
Guarantee you. I guarantee 100%.
I absolutely guarantee you.
I'm asking Sandy
way more than you
later today. Did you bring us pizza when we were camping out?
She didn't.
She did.
No.
And
I don't think we had pizza when we were camping out.
No, she brought it. It was for the Wii, which was a day later.
So the Wii, the Wii is more believable because that's on the weekend.
Yeah.
Weekend. And also we had a tent. We had like the whole setup. We basically had a pizza oven in our tent. So enough about camping out. But there was a guy with a knife.
We were like beyond excited. Like the PS3 was the most excited I've ever been for anything in my entire life.
Yeah.
Ever.
And then it came out and we didn't get it.
No, we did.
Because we couldn't.
They only had like 2.
Yeah. And I remember everyone was flipping them on eBay. Like people who had them pre-ordered
I think
already had them up.
Didn't one sell for like $20,000 the next day or something like that?
I think there were some that were like 15,000, but that had to be bullshit. That didn't go through. But they were actually selling for like $1,700.
Yeah, a lot of money. And so we didn't get it, but we eventually did. Like a couple weeks later, at least a couple weeks later,
it.
I got it. I pulled a whole. We ended up camping out for Wii's, and I got a Wii.
Same here.
And then I played Zelda and I beat it, and then I sold my Wii for like $700 basically to this kid we went to high school with, and like so basically I traded him, I sold him for the PS3 and like a couple games and like some money.
Yeah.
So basically about $700 worth of stuff. And
Wait,
so I got a PS3.
You traded your Wii
for a PS3. Yeah.
He traded you a PS3 in his hands to you.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's how I got my PS3.
Wow, that's weird.
Yep.
I got the Wii and I got
60 gig.
Excite Truck.
Oh my god.
Bad move.
Terrible move.
Real
dude.
bad move.
Didn't you get Zelda?
It's because I had Zelda on GameCube.
Oh.
Which is actually really rare. They didn't make many of Twilight Princess on GameCube.
Interesting.
But every Zelda game on GameCube is rare. The collection.
Yeah, but now you can get HD versions of them on other consoles.
Yeah, but they're still like really expensive for some reason.
What?
But so I got that, and I did the same thing. I sold it to someone at school, and it was Sam.
Oh, Shoemaker, yeah.
And he bought it for more than it cost. And then I went off and he just like really, really wanted one.
Yeah.
And so I went off and bought an Xbox 360. I just caved. I was like, you know what? I need a console that is better than what I have. Like it needs to be a generational leap. And Excite Truck is not good. So I got the 360. I got Gears of War and I got Burnout Revenge. And holy shit.
Dude, I remember like how excited you were about Gears of War, man. You brought it over and we played that. That was actually really cool.
That was the era where...
But I'm going to shut you down because that's not the PS3, brother. We're talking about the PS3
I know, but that was
now.
the era where you see the graphics, you see like the leap from generation to generation, and you're just like, I can't even fathom how good this looks.
Yeah.
There's
Gears
bump
of War was
mapping
just
and
a
normal
really
mapping
good-looking game.
on everything.
Yeah.
Even the ground. The ground looks so
Everything
good in
was
Gears.
so shiny.
That's where I got my looking at walls and ground stuff from.
Oh, really? From Gears
I was just
of War?
creeping around looking at every texture.
Yeah, Sean has this fucking like insane behavior when he plays a game, like especially like a new game, and if it's first person particularly, he will just walk around and get as close to all the walls and floors as he can, and he's just like looking at the walls and floors, like, oh my god, that concrete looks so good. Like, it's insane.
Well,
and I'm just like, yeah,
one.
I guess it does look really good, buddy, but like, let's start playing the game here. Like, stop fucking looking at the staircase.
I had to do it, and the funny thing is I still beat games faster than Brad. So I had to do it in Condemned because I was so scared that I was actually just like hugging the wall the whole time. But anyway, PS3. Back to PS3.
Yeah, PS3.
What are some of your favorite games from PS3?
Oh man, on PS3 era, like for sure. Okay, let me go through a couple of top ones. I can't quite decide which one. Which one's number one, but it's there's a couple right there at the top. So I'll just say them. Dead Space. First Dead Space. That game, still to this day, my favorite survival horror game ever.
Yeah.
That game terrified me. Like I literally would have like heart issues while playing that game, and I still played through it 2.5 times to get the platinum trophy.
Yeah.
And that was a terrifying platinum because like you have to play through it with just like the
plasma cutter.
And just the plasma cutter and on like terrible or on nightmare difficulty or whatever.
So did we both do the same thing where you can play through on Nightmare with all the weapons, which is the smart thing, and then do Plasma Cutter on Easy?
Right, which is the smart way.
But instead, we
both
painted ourselves into a corner, and we both did Plasma Cutter only run on the hardest difficulty.
It was terrible. So that game, I could do a whole episode on Dead Space, but I won't.
We should.
So the Metal Gear Solid 4, that game blew my mind.
Oh my god.
The story in that game, and like, dude, I remember you beat the game early in the day, and then you came over to my house just to watch me beat the game later that night.
It was so good.
That was a special time, man.
The twist with
Whoa, do we want to spoil it?
The 10-year-old game.
I guess it is 10 years old.
No, I'm not going to spoil it, but
the ending's
last
really great.
Is just, it gave me chills.
Yeah, and it goes on forever.
Yeah. Oh
it's
my
so
god.
good.
They're like 10 hours of cutscenes.
Last of Us, which also is out on PS4, so it's kind of like
and it's better
deceiving.
on PS4.
It's way better on PS4. I played through it on both, and I really love it.
Mm-hmm.
The Uncharted 1, 2, 3, amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see what else is on that list. I mean, there's so many games that I have over
Red
here
Dead.
on my shelf. Red Dead Redemption. Oh my god, yeah. Go on, name some of yours. Like
Red Dead, BioShock. Dead Space is so far up there for me.
Yeah.
That final boss in Dead Space, just the giant tentacle monster.
dude, and the lighting,
And the lighting
in,
in
that
the
scene,
back is just like a crazy sun that's
what
way
a
too
great
close.
journey that game is.
I remember like every second of that game.
Yeah.
I went back and I started playing it again because I was testing my PS3.
Game really holds up.
It does.
Really
Everything.
does.
It still looks great
If they would do an HD remaster of that game, I would buy it in a
in
second.
an instant, especially because that series.
Even if it was $60 for just the first
Yeah.
game. In fact, that's all I care
If
about
it was,
because
yeah,
the
if they
second
upgraded
game,
it, dude, totally.
the second game went too actiony for like my taste. Like it was still a
loved
good
it.
game, but it lost the horror aspects of it for me.
I don't know.
and then they made him talk too. I did not need Isaac to talk.
He definitely didn't need to talk, but and they did the
I
same
needed was
thing in
like,
the second game.
That's all I needed from Isaac.
Yeah, and then you're smashing Xboxes
Yeah.
with your feet. So yeah, what else? So BioShock was great. BioShock 2 was the same.
I wish I could zoom in and look at my shelf over there because there's probably like a billion games that like
Yeah.
are on that shelf that I'm
Burnout
not talking
Paradise.
about. Burnout Paradise was super fun.
What about RPGs?
Well, as far as RPGs go, I mean, the Dragon Age came out on
Yep.
PS3, which
Yep.
that was an awesome
Assassin's
game.
Creed 2.
Oh, Assassin's Creed 2 was great. Batman Arkham.
Yep, the Arkham
Arkham
stuff.
Asylum. I still think that's the best one. I
agree.
love the confined setting of that
Yeah.
game. When they opened it up, it lost something special. The Metroidvania part of it kind of died out a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was
Which,
a bummer.
dude, that's one of the most impressive things about Breath of the Wild. They open it up and maintain that.
Yeah.
And I think that's so unique. I don't know any other game that has done that with an open world.
Yeah.
Just a side note.
Yeah, dude, there are so many awesome experiences on
Call of Duty 4.
Yeah, Modern Warfare came out during that generation.
So many just landmark games.
I think the PS3 generation was the first generation to really just establish some of like most of the major franchises and players in
Yeah,
the game
that are
industry
still
right
here.
now.
Yep.
And that was kind of like something new that started at that point. Like you got a lot of games, like a lot of studios would make games and then go on to make different games.
Yeah.
Where now we're on the sequel trend.
Well, when you think about it, did you say PS3 or PS2?
PS3.
Because that kind of started with PS2. They all took their first foray, so it was like Red
Some
Dead
of 'em.
Revolver,
Some of 'em.
Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, and and
Grand Theft Auto
GTA.
3, yeah.
System Shock 2 was on PC, but like they all had their first
They had like
steps.
they had origins
Yeah.
like in other places, but then the PS3, Xbox 360 generation is where they really were like
They just needed they needed those
money
8
train
cores, you know.
rolling along.
Cell processor.
I love that cell processor.
SPUs.
Dude, developers hate the PS3.
Yeah.
They really do. Like when you talk to
good
anyone, like
reason.
any programmer about the PS3, they're just like, no.
They're like, what the fuck?
Like this is terrible.
Unless you're making an exclusive game for it, in which case you can make it look and run awesome.
really great. Yeah.
It's just like, why not develop it for PC and then port it directly to another PC?
Yeah.
The Xbox.
Exactly. Because that was really funny about the PS3 for a long time. That the PS3 was like by far way more powerful than the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
It could do a lot more.
Yeah.
If you
On paper.
if you did it right.
Yeah.
But it was so architecturally different from the Xbox 360 that developers had a really hard time porting the games to the PS3. So most of the time, for like the first 2 or 3 years, even, games looked better on Xbox 360
Yep.
than they did on PS3.
Yeah,
And
third-party games always did.
they always ran worse on
Because
PS3.
while they gave developers more power and more flexibility, they did it in a very specific Sony way.
Yeah.
Like you had to follow all of the architecture that they built, or it was worse because the common stuff, the way that people were used to developing with more RAM and with like 3 cores, so you don't have to worry about 8 fucking cores and all of that, like that stuff just hindered you. So the basics weren't there. They kind of like built all of this technology on top of a crumbling foundation, which is really interesting because it was not their intention, you know? Like
Right.
obviously they wanted everything to look better. They wanted to support developers, but I think they just underestimated how much work that took and how much work on their part it took to educate people on how to develop for it and make it worth their while.
It took years for people to catch up. Years.
yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think
Launch
about it.
titles right there. Let's call them out.
Well, the launch titles were Call of Duty 3, Genji, Days of the Blade,
Yeah.
Madden NFL 07, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Wait, was that a launch title?
Yep.
That was an awesome game.
But that was one of those cross-gen ones.
Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire. No idea. Need for Speed.
Carbon.
NBA 07. NBA 2K7. Okay. NHL 2K7. Resistance Fall of Man. Awesome game. Ridge Racer 7. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07. Tony Hawk's Project 8. And Untold Legends Dark Kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't think all of those games came out like as it launched. Because
I don't think Tony Hawk's Project 8 did, because I played the demo a lot.
Yeah. I think some of these came out a little like not on the launch date. I don't think Marvel Ultimate Alliance was a game you could have bought on day one, but maybe in other countries too. Maybe
you had Untold Legends, right?
Yeah, I didn't have it at launch though. I think I bought it later because back then money was hard to come by.
Yeah,
my dad bought Untold Legends. That was it. Yeah.
Those games are so interesting because that was a launch title for PSP as well.
It's like a Diablo wannabe.
Yeah, but
and it's just not quite as good. But it's still scratched the itch a little bit.
Yeah, and if you play it with friends, it's good enough.
Yeah, exactly.
But they just cut so many corners.
That game I think had a really bad multiplayer. I think maybe actually you couldn't play multiplayer on PS3.
Really?
I think it wasn't multiplayer. Because I think that's why I didn't end up playing it more.
Okay.
I think there was something weird about it.
Yeah.
Or like either it was difficult or it was like really poorly implemented, like where maybe you shared a screen or something. I don't know. I can't quite remember, but I don't remember playing it very much. Whereas the PSP version I played it a lot.
Yeah.
Because I really liked.
Anyway, PS3.
Great console.
Yeah, you're part of our past, and we'll never forget you.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite PlayStation console.
Even with PS4 in the running?
Well, PS4 is gonna potentially overrun it because PS4 has been amazing so far. So, but I think like as far as the experiences, when I look at things that like changed my life as far as gaming
Arkham,
goes, PS3 wins.
Dark Souls, Demon Souls. We didn't even talk about those.
Nope.
Yeah, there were a lot of franchises that were spawned on PS3 that are just like top of the industry.
Yeah, really, really like that console.
Naughty Dog really hit their stride. Insomniac missed their stride.
Yeah, their stride fell down.
Okay. They tripped, we'll say.
They're coming back though. Spider-Man looks cool.
Spider-Man.
That's the main topic.
Yep.
Next up, we're gonna go into what should we do first?
Let's do the Metacritic first.
Okay, we're gonna do guess the Metacritic.
Guess.
And this week we have Sean, the Ripper Crick, playing.
I'm in the hot seat.
He's in the hot seat, everybody.
I'm gonna nail it.
Now I have picked out 5 games and then a wild card.
You don't have a bonus game?
I
for
do.
me?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Oh, Lord of the Rings 2 Towers.
Yeah.
Wait, I won't
don't
say
spoil it. Don't spoil it. Yeah.
Wait, why 2 Towers?
Because that was the first one that we played.
No, we never played 2 Towers.
Yeah, we did.
No, it was Return of the King.
No, we played 2 Towers.
Never played 2 Towers.
Definitely
did.
Well, then I played 2 Towers and you're fucking guessing it. Okay, we'll switch it to Return of the King.
No.
We'll switch it to Return of the King.
I probably know that one.
You don't know that one.
Okay, 8.3.
And so this week we decided, we came up with a new scoring scheme all on our own.
Yeah. It's kind of brilliant in its simplicity.
It is really brilliant. We're really proud of ourselves.
Yeah, we'll probably license this out to other podcasts.
Yeah, if they want to start playing the game too. And so, Sean, read us through what this new scoring method is going to be like.
Yeah, copyright Sean and Brad.
Yep.
So an exact guess will be 4.
Yeah, we're changing everything up.
Oh, everything.
Everything.
It's so drastically different, you probably don't even understand.
No.
This could only come from the minds of Sean and Brad. Within 3 points, you get 3. Kind of.
Yeah,
nice.
that's fair. It's fair.
It's great. Within 6 points, you get 2 points.
Which is like if you took 6 divided by 3.
Yeah, so there's the logic to this, you'll see. Within 9, you get 1. That's when we threw logic out the window.
Yeah.
Well, you take 9, you divide it by 9, you get 1. So
exactly.
That's what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Write in. Let us know if that makes sense. Anything 10 or more away from the score is negative 1. Yeah. We were thinking about doing 0.
Yeah, we thought
but we
thought it could be 0 or -1.
Yeah. But we went with -1.
We're going -1.
All on our own. Because I think punishing is just part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. We want Sean to suffer as much as possible. All right, so let's go at it. This week, round 1. We got 5 games lined up. Sean, Ultra Street Fighter 2 for Nintendo Switch.
For Nintendo Switch?
Yes. What is the Metacritic?
83.
Waiting. 83. Okay. 83. Here we go. Locked in at 83.
Locked in.
Also, I want to take a moment to say, if you're listening to this and you're playing the game along with us, write in with your scores. We'll keep track of anyone who writes in and mails us their scores. You can be a part of the game. You can compete with us. Yeah,
okay.
I'm throwing that in there.
Hey,
right
anyone
now.
out there who wants to keep track of everyone's scores, we're open to you doing that.
No, they're just going to mail it in. We'll just add it to the list.
Well, what happens when we have 500,000 people mailing in?
Then we'll get someone else to do it. But until that point...
Just saying, like, if you need a job, that's not actually a job.
Talk to us. But write into gamestuffpodcast@gmail.com. Write in and let us know how you did.
Yeah.
Next up, Rhyme for PS4.
PS5. This is interesting because screenshots of the game look cool, but everyone I've talked to who's played demos or seen it in motion or anything more than what I saw is kind of bummed.
It's a hit or miss. Some people love this game. Some people love this game.
Do you think, would you say it's mixed reviews?
I would say that the reviews are not consensual.
I don't think that's what you meant. People were forced to review this game.
Oh, I don't know. I think what I mean is like the reviews, yeah, they're not all the same. They're mixed.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm bouncing between 72 and 68.
You got to lock in one of those numbers.
68.
2, okay, 68.
72. 68.
Nope, you're locked in at 68. The first number you said. Next up, Perception on PS4.
This is about the blind girl who taps her cane.
Yeah, exactly. She's perceptive.
Okay. People probably love it because it's so indie and it's so out there.
Okay.
And it gives you an experience that you just can't get. Unless you are also
You're sounding pretty high on
a
this.
blind girl. What?
Yeah, you're sounding high on it.
No. 10%. No. I'm going to go with straight 80.
80.
Yeah.
Bold move.
Thank you.
All right. Pokemon Magikarp Jump.
1. I'm willing to take a hit.
1?
1 out of 100.
1 out of 100.
1
dude.
out of 100. I'll take a hit just to trash that
this
game.
This is iOS. Okay. 1 out of 100. If you're 50 points or more off, it should just be like a -10.
But we never said that.
That's shit. Okay. Oh God, I don't even remember what console this was.
I don't even know what Unit 4 is.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put it on there.
Is
Unit 4.
Is it like a grasshopper game?
I have no idea. You're just gonna have to.
SOCOM Navy SEALs Fire Team Bravo US 4.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna switch this up because a newer game came out this week. Tekken 7. Have you seen anything on that?
No.
Okay, we'll change it to Tekken 7.
Which makes me think
you
it's
know
not
what Tekken
great.
is.
Yeah, I do. Who doesn't?
I don't know.
Was that a question?
No, that wasn't a question. I'm just saying, like, we don't know what Unit 4 is. Tekken 7. That's a little bit more fair because you can get it. Tekken 7. It's a fighter game. You're fighting men. You're taking men and you're fighting them.
And women.
And women's.
Women's. Is Heihachi in it?
Oh yeah, dude, he's totally in there.
Is Yoshimitsu in it?
I don't even know which one that is.
It's the guy on he uses his sword as a pogo stick. And he's in Soul Calibur as well for some reason.
I don't know.
78.
78. Locked in. All right. And then bonus round. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King on PlayStation 2.
Oh, on PS2.
Yes.
Okay. I played this mostly on GameCube. So this is throwing me off a little. But for the listeners out there, this is actually a really solid game.
It is an awesome game.
This is like a behind-the-back third-person dungeon crawler, like Diablo-esque.
It's Diablo-esque, but with Lord of the Rings characters.
And with
very
really,
challenging.
really cool abilities. Like, when you're Gandalf, you can just turn into a light bulb.
And then you just walk around and zap everyone and they just die.
Not a real light bulb. You just get a force field. And that's what I would always do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
keep making more annoying noises for the audience to listen to. They love this.
Hey, way to spell PlayStation wrong, you dunce.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to like
PlayStation.
show this off. Put a number on the board here,
all right,
buddy.
All right, I just think it's disrespectful since we just honored PlayStation and now you're spelling it wrong. 81.
81. Okay. Well, let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's finalize these numbers that are locked into the board. Locked in. Let's go. First up, Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, I have no idea what to think about this.
Or 2. On Switch. Ooh, it's
That's
yellow. 67.
What did I say?
83.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's a minus
-1.
one.
I'll take it.
That's a -1 right there. First off.
Damn
Okay.
it.
Rhyme, PS4. Sean Crick guessed 68.
Oh, he seems too excited about this. I did
The
not
official
get close.
score for Rhyme on
Oh.
PS4 is 80.
80?
80.
That's not bad.
That is more
Wait,
than
what
10
about
points off.
What? It's not on Switch though, right? Yet?
Not yet, no.
Because I'd be down to play that on Switch.
Yeah, I'm going to play it on Switch when it comes out.
I'm gonna play it first.
All right, Perception on PS4. Sean
Indie.
Crick guessed 80. Let's see.
Indie,
What do we get?
like narrative.
Perception.
Ooh.
Oh, is there not a Metacritic for it on PS4?
Wow, way to
There's not
suck.
a Metacritic for it on
Way
PS4.
to suck, dude.
Oops, it's only got a Metacritic on PC. So, I think we're gonna have to make that
Give me
not
points.
count. But we'll see what it is on. We'll see what it's on on PC here. Perception. It's yellow.
What did I say? 80? Flat 80?
He said 80.
60.
Metacritic says 60.
All right. Yeah.
Not good. Minus
good.
1. Not
Just
getting a
wait,
lot.
dude,
Not
just
getting a
wait.
lot of points here, buddy.
This new
Pokemon,
point system is fucking me.
amazing, right? Pokemon Magikarp Jump iOS. Sean says 1. Let's see how close he was.
Big money, big money. Coming back on this one.
Magikarp Jump. Oh, it's yellow,
Not
so
that
it's
far
close. 64.
64. Okay.
64.
So I'm 63 off.
That's -1 for Sean here.
That one felt good.
Tekken 7 PS4. Sean guessed 78. Let's see what we have. Tekken 7
Ooh, points. I smell points.
83.
83.
I think that he's within
Within 6, so I get 2 points.
2 points.
Yeah.
Yep, you get 2 points. Okay,
Give them to me.
2 points.
Give me my points.
And then Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, PlayStation 2, final bonus round. Sean guessed 81.
Yeah, I did.
Let's see what we have. Lord of the Rings,
You might want to just do a
Return of the King. PlayStation 2. Wow. Oh,
I was pretty close.
85.
Ooh, man, I wish I went with 82.
Ah, that's
Because then
within
I
6.
would've got more points.
So that's another 2 points.
Another 2 points. So I wiped out my negative score. I'm at 0.
So today, Sean finishes the game with a whopping score of 0.
It's a big 0. It's like a almost 1 kind of 0.
That's pretty embarrassing. And
No, I think it's good.
I think it's really
Considering I
embarrassing.
intentionally
like
tanked
to-
Pokemon.
I would like to also add in that Sean's final score from last game versus plus today, 3 plus 0.
Yeah. Which
He's
is
still ahead of me by 1
higher-
point, but
higher than
I
2.
haven't had a chance to go yet.
You
So
haven't had a
I'm at
chance to
2.
dig
Sean's
yourself
at
a
3.
hole.
Where are you at? Write into GameStuffPodcast@gmail.com. Let us know. Because you're probably higher up than Sean.
Are you looking at Gmail right now to see if anyone wrote in yet?
Yeah, we're looking in right now.
On this
hey,
live
guys, why aren't you
recording.
writing in?
Well,
All right.
Speaking of that,
Yep.
I hear something coming.
I hear something coming too. What is that?
Chugga, chugga, chugga,
Chugga,
chugga,
chugga,
chugga,
chugga,
chugga, chugga, chugga, chugga, chugga.
Choo-choo.
Get off the fucking tracks!
All right. This
a
week we
sassy
have a
train.
couple awesome write-ins from some of our game
Now,
pals
are
out
we
there.
going to do both of these? Because we're
gonna
going
do-
pretty
we-
long.
We got 3. And they're not going to take long.
We have 3?
Yeah, we have 3.
Oh, man.
Jaren writes in to say, guys, what happened to cheat codes in games?
Wow. I haven't
Now-
even thought of cheat codes for
I know.
aeons.
I think cheat codes have gone away for a number of reasons. One of the reasons that cheat codes existed to begin with is cheat codes, I think, were basically just developer cheats, pretty much. In old school
Yeah.
games, they were ways to debug and
in
test
Sim,
games.
we know they were in, well, I know they were in Sims because I worked on it and it was the exact same
Yeah.
cheats.
So basically, you have debug tools to test the game, like we're in Sims, where it's like you need more money to test stuff out.
Blah.
You just type the thing in, you get it, and like a lot of times they'll leave that stuff in the game just because it is kind of fun for those
Or
purposes.
they can't figure out how to take it out.
Or they can't figure out how to take it out. But the thing is, like, then you have like old school games where it's like they have invincibility or like, unlimited lives, things like that. A lot of those things have gone away because games are just different now. Like a lot of games left those in there because they kind of gave a fun way for you to finish the game, even though like if your skill level wasn't good enough. But a lot of games just aren't that hard anymore. And like they have save point.
They're
like
very
like games
forgiving.
are very, very different. So you don't really need cheat codes to be in the game for someone to finish.
Well, they
your
have
game.
better onboarding.
Yeah,
they have better tutorials. They're just designed better in some cases. Like a level is rarely just keyboard breakingly frustrating. They get you almost to that point, but then they know where the limit is because they test their games more thoroughly. People have just kind of learned over the years. Designers have gotten better. But the other thing, I think another huge reason that cheat codes are less prevalent is there are a lot of really competitive games now.
Yeah.
And you can't have that.
You don't want to break.
Integrity.
You can't break the game.
Yeah.
The other thing that is different is just that a lot of games are on really tight schedules.
Yeah.
And so you have some older games, like you think of games that have like big head mode and all this stuff. Like those things actually require work.
Yep.
And the first thing usually on the chopping block for when you're trying to ship a game on time is fun little extra secret things like that. And like a lot of those things really only get put in games if someone really is passionate about it and kind of takes the extra time on their own, maybe stays late and plugs that stuff in.
And you know what's really cool? Some games like Modern Warfare and Uncharted do not cheat codes, but they have different rendering modes. They have different like music. They have different Drake models.
Yeah.
So you can be like Donut Drake.
Yeah,
who's
exactly.
super
You just be fat guy.
And that's even better than cheat codes because they've actually put some time and effort into it.
Yeah, and you unlock it in the game by doing certain things, like by
So
collecting all the
it's part of the
treasures and stuff
progression,
like
which is
that. So
nice.
it's a part of the progression.
I remember in Call of Duty there was like a vaudeville mode, and at some point you could like
didn't see
shoot
any of
tires
this.
instead of bullets.
Are you serious?
So you could have an automatic weapon and just shoot tires everywhere.
And a lot of times, that just comes from like sometimes someone will just literally make a joke in the game, like while you're developing the game, someone will change something just for it to be funny. And like if enough people react positively, they'll be like, we got to put that in somehow.
Yeah.
And then you put it behind a secret code or a secret like button combination.
You know, that's kind of a can of worms. Like we should do some research and look into more of like happy accidents in games because there are some really good stories there.
Yeah, totally.
Like the whole DMC Resident Evil thing.
Yeah.
Which if you don't know what it is, then you're really confused, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll get into it sometime. But that's a great question. It's
Great question.
The games have evolved, and cheat codes just aren't like. I think you're gonna always get cheat codes in PC games because you have a keyboard that allows you to type commands in, and that allows you to access a console, which is what developers use when they're making the games. Whereas on a PS4 and Xbox, you're not using a keyboard as much, so a lot of those, like the codes or the debug commands that a developer would make to begin with, they would then have to like input some sort of command, like you'd have to do some sort of like button command to make it happen, and that's just trickier and more troublesome, and it can interfere with the real game. Yeah, or they have to build a UI around it, and it's extra time and effort that maybe isn't really gonna, in the end of the day, affect sales.
So what's your favorite cheat code?
Well, my favorite cheat codes are probably like, the ones I remember the most are from like StarCraft, like Black Sheep Wall or stuff like. There's like, I can't quite remember all of the names, but like you just type them in and like it just broke the game, you know, like more money or more lumber or whatever in Warcraft.
Nice.
Stuff like that.
That's cool. Mine's IDKFA.
Or actually, the classic cheat code, up, down, left, right, BA. The Konami code.
That gives you
30 lives in Contra.
Yeah.
But then other games adapt it because it's just such a part of like developers love it and like they want to pay homage to it, Yeah. So it kind of lives on in other games in different ways.
Even Facebook.
Yeah.
Any website full of, like, if the people at the company are nerds, you're gonna find up, down, left, right somewhere in their code. They're gonna do something with it.
Yeah. So great question, Jaren. Next up, we have a letter from
Danielle.
Dan. Hello, sexy Sean and badass Brad.
I'm glad he has those extra names for us. We were gonna add them, but we weren't sure.
Yeah, no, he wrote those in. He literally wrote those in. Sean, what does he say here?
He says, "My name's Dan, and I am loving the podcast."
Thanks, Dan.
And then he says, "It's cool to see you have 10 followers on SoundCloud." I think he means 10 million.
Yeah.
First of all,
yeah, we're at
Dan.
10 million on SoundCloud, not 10.
He then goes on to say, "If Pokemon were real, and you could have a team of any 6 Pokemon except legendaries to be the best there ever was, who would it include?"
I think there might be crossover here because I think we have a lot of like the same
Pokemon people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love to. So, well, I mean, we can't help that a new Pokemon game came out.
How about the two of us have to combine together to build a team of 6?
Yeah, because I don't want to build a whole team of 6.
Yeah, me either. Okay, number 1, Charizard.
Ooh, I already disagree.
What? Okay, who would you replace Charizard with?
Probably Garchomp.
Oh, okay, I agree.
Yeah,
Garchomp, done, locked in.
He's our fast dragon type.
Yeah,
we don't
so
need
cool.
fucking flying bullshit.
I don't know, but Charizard's just cool because
if we're doing fire,
we have to have a starter. We have to have a starter in this lineup.
If we have a starter, then it's probably I don't know. Grass Pokemon are really hard to come by, so maybe Venusaur. And do you mean starter from the first gen?
From any gen.
Any gen?
Any gen.
Oh, what starters?
Like,
were
what
really
about
good?
like remember like Totodile or Crocodile
for Alligator?
For Alligator.
I just don't know that any of them are competitive. For Alligator was.
Well, I mean, I'm putting this as like
It's like you like the Pokemon.
Like, yeah.
All right, then let's take a step back.
Okay.
Charizard's back in.
Okay, Charizard's back in.
Garchomp is really awesome though.
Yeah, no,
so
Garchomp's
maybe we have
great
both.
too. Yeah, okay, both of them.
Ampharos.
We have to have
Ampharos. Is so
yeah.
fluffy and
Dude, he's
cuddly,
so
and then you get
badass.
electrocuted.
It's so cool because he turns from like the stupidest Pokemon ever into like the coolest looking.
Well,
Pokemon.
he's not the stupidest Pokemon. That would be like Nose Pass. I think there's one that's just a pile of trash.
That's true. There is just a pile of trash.
Okay, so we got 3. We got Garchomp, Char, and then Ampharos.
Okay, yeah, and we got a starter in there. Okay, now we can't do legendaries. So I wanted to have like Lugia or someone in there, or like Mew or Mewtwo, but like, we can't do those.
No, we don't want to.
So who else is in there?
Who else is in there?
You know who I really liked? I really liked that Toad one from Gold and Silver. I can't remember what his name was.
The crap. Wait, the Toad?
Frog Pokemon Gold and Silver. He was really cute.
What did he evolve into? Politoed?
No.
It wasn't Politoed?
Wait, he actually, he was. Yeah, he was an evolution.
Is he before Poliwag?
Yeah.
Is he like the pre-evolution?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was really cool.
All right. He seems useless, but I'll give you that.
Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, Gyarados? No, wait. We can't. If we throw Gyarados,
that's
in
another
there,
flying dragon.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
Not a great idea.
Spiritomb, because Spiritomb.
Is that not legendary?
No.
Okay.
No, he's a normal Pokemon with no weakness.
Okay, so that's 5.
Spiritomb is a huge pain in the ass. I can't even stress enough how much he sucks. For the person you're playing against. For the person you're playing against. Like, it's not even fair. He's banned. Or he was. I don't know. I haven't like seen competitive stuff in forever.
Yeah.
So we've got one more slot. I gotta rack my brain here.
I know, I'm digging through like my memories of like,
because there are so many good ones.
Yeah, because we already have flying covered, so we like.
I
what do we
feel bad
need?
for not having Pikachu, but whatever.
No, don't put Pikachu in there. Because we already have Ampharos. Ampharos is a way better electric Pokemon.
Yeah, but he's not.
We're missing like grass or ground.
We have ground.
Or psychic.
Garchomp is ground.
Okay, yeah.
We don't have rock. We don't have like psychic steel. Alakazam is pretty strong.
Yeah. We gotta go Alakazam. You gotta put him in there.
I love in Pokemon games, like the second you can catch an Abra after they stop fucking running away
Teleporting,
from you.
yeah.
Once you get a Kadabra, it's just like, okay, I can win the game now.
Yep.
Level 10 Kadabra, all right, let's do
Wrecked.
it. I mean, I don't think that's even possible.
Confusion.
Like, he evolves at like level 16 or something.
All right, so that's our team.
That's good. Yeah, so Dan, bring it. What's your team?
Yeah,
we'll take your team. We'll take your team down.
Tell us what your team is and we'll fight them.
Let me guess. Golbat. Fidgy. There's probably a Fidgy in there.
Fidgy?
Yeah.
What is that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna.
It's like worse than a Pidgey.
Pidgey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's probably got all the rarest Pokemon. Like that one, the weird Dragonair looking thing that's not Dragonair.
Mm-hmm.
You have to catch something in water, and it's like a very, very low percentage chance, like Azukil or something. And then
Dude, you're getting beyond my Pokemon.
Anyway, I'm assuming that Dan's roster is just stacked with like the best, rarest Pokemon, and they're probably all shiny.
Yeah.
But who cares how shiny they are when they're fucking dead?
Yeah. Ampharos gonna zap your ass.
Zap them.
All right, we have one more reader mail this week. This is from the Clutchba. They didn't give us a real name. So this is, hey guys, listen to your intro podcast and plan on hearing the rest ASAP. I hope that by now you've listened to all the rest.
Yeah, it's ASAP o'clock.
Definitely. I still maintain your logo is awesome. I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. Their question. Well, they had two things. They wanted us.
First, shout out to Big Rig, the artist for that logo.
Yes. Follow him at I think Ryan Ehrenberg. I think it's just at Ryan Ehrenberg on Twitter.
Does he
really
want people
awesome
to follow
artist. Him? Yeah, totally.
Too bad he's getting followers.
He's getting followers now. A really awesome artist. He did our logo. He's one of my coworkers at Respawn. Really cool dude.
Yeah. When I first saw that, my first thought was just, how has no one done this before?
I know. It's so
just
perfect.
Heads as joysticks. It seems like this is wrong because someone else has to have this already, but I've never seen it. So,
these guys have a YouTube channel, and I just want to give a shout out real quick because I watched a little bit. They're pretty new, just like us, and they have like some Spelunky Let's Plays, and they're pretty funny dudes actually. Like it's kind of them just playing Spelunky, and like the one guy kind of acts like he's a master, but they're pretty terrible at it. And
does he think he's a master?
I can't tell for sure if he thinks he's actually good or not.
Okay.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. It was entertaining. I think the last I saw, like they don't have too many views, so go check them out. Go see what you think. If you like Spelunky and you like watching people play Spelunky,
then you probably like this.
You'll probably like this. Just two funny dudes. Like they're Australian or like New Zealandish or something.
They've got an edge then.
Yeah, they've totally got the edge because their accent is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I'm listening to them. They're not even saying like anything particularly funny, but I'm laughing because they just sound hilarious. So go check it out. Their channel, I think, is The Clutch Bus. So it's The Clutch and then BUH. So they write in to ask, what are your favorite hot desserts?
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna combine. We're just gonna name a couple.
Yeah, we'll combine
hot fudge brownies.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, so I want to say apple pie.
You have to say apple pie,
but I don't want to say
it.
Because that's the first thing everyone would think of. So I'm just gonna take that off the list.
Oh, it's off the list.
I'm gonna throw it in the jail.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say an apple dumpling.
Ooh, that is
Pennsylvania
great.
style.
I'm gonna throw in. It's not like I don't know if you could call it a dessert because you eat it for breakfast, but it is a dessert.
Yeah.
Waffles. Waffles.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Are awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Especially as dessert.
Especially when you put
There's
the
ice cream on
strawberries
top of
them
them.
or ice cream. Oh my god. Yeah. Amazing.
Covered in chocolate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw back to an old hot dessert.
Okay.
Hot chocolate.
Oh, do you consider that a dessert? That's like
cocoa.
a drink, but it's a drink dessert.
It's a drink dessert.
Oh, because just like a milkshake is a drink dessert.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it's like hot and cold. It's two different things.
It's totally different. Well, because this is hot. We're only allowed to name hot
and the other one's cold.
Desserts. All right, we have one more slot. They wanted us to name our top 5.
Yeah.
I'll give you hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate when it's got those like little fake marshmallows in it.
What do you mean fake?
Well, like there's little like Lucky Charm like little marshmallows
They're
floating
still
around like
real
in the packet.
marshmallows.
Well, whatever.
Marshmallows are just already
they're not
really
like the big
fake.
fluffy marshmallows. They're like the little.
Have you ever
hard
put those in it though?
I don't know.
Because that actually works
good?
really well. Because they kind of dissolve and they turn into this like really thick material.
Interesting.
And I don't know. You should try it.
Okay, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
One more hot dessert. What's left in like the dessert land?
What is it? I've had it like every single day for a year, and then your mom. Oh, got him.
Nailed it. That's
Take
our
that,
top 5
Clutch
desserts, guys. And that's it for Mail Train.
Yeah.
See you, Mail Train. Leaving the station.
See ya.
Okay, everybody. This was longer than we intended.
That was a long one.
Partially because Sean fucking drags out the Metacritic section. Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, I got to get my points back.
Give us some numbers already. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for joining us. It's been another fun week here in the Game Stuff Studios. It's hot. Hope it's hot there too. Hope you're feeling the heat. And
as always, write in to gamestuffpodcast@gmail.com.
Please
follow us at GameStuffPod on Twitter.
Be a part of the show. Just call us out on our shit if we're wrong about something, which Sean is all the time. Just tell him that, and then just write in and just say what you're playing.
Yeah.
Play the games along with us. Just tell us what you're excited about.
Tell us.
Give us feedback if there's anything you don't like, which is probably not true. Just let us know.
Yeah. And if there's something you do like, just keep it to yourself.
Please.
We don't have time for that.
We're only trying to improve here.
Yeah.
We don't need to hear about how awesome we
de-prove.
are, because we already hear it all the time.
Guy Whisk over there is meowing at us. I assume he's saying he loves us.
Yeah. So, did you tell him about Twitter too? You can follow us on Twitter.
I did.
Okay.
Now it's redundant.
Well, just follow us on Twitter.
Hey, you can write in to gamestuffpodcast@gmail.com.
And follow us on Twitter at GameStuff.
Follow us in real life. I don't care.
Yeah.
Find us.
The other thing is, I don't know what's going on. We're still waiting for fucking iTunes to approve us. They haven't approved our podcast yet.
It's a little
but
weird.
when it goes up on iTunes, review us. 1 out of the 10 first reviews on iTunes will get a free game code from me, the game of your choice, digital game. And then 1 in the first 100, once we get to 100 reviews, will also get a free game of your choice.
It has to be different
us.
from the other person's game, though.
Yeah, it can't be the same game. If it's the same game, you actually lose, and then no one
don't
gets
get the
any
game.
games. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the week. Thanks for joining us. We had a good time. It's hot, just the way we like it.
Oh, yeah.
See ya.
See ya.
It's the end.